The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
You're slapped, you'll take it and like it.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth!
That's not something you expect. But when Will slapped Chris, he slapped all of us. But he really slapped me. Because when you hurt my child, you hurt me.
Where's the 5 fingers? Say to the face!
What?
Slap!
That's it! I'm gonna slap you! I slap you! I slap you! I slap you! I'm slapping you silly because you disrespected me!
Dudes, let me tell you something right now. We appreciate you, and we welcome you to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Let's call this here our Wednesday broadcast. I'm fresh off last night's Iron Maiden concert, Cubby, down there in St. Paul. One of the best shows I've ever been lucky enough to see in person. I drank a few Steve Weisers. I ran into some old friends. I bought a bootleg T-shirt from a stranger on the sidewalk.
I love that.
I had a great time.
Well, today's National Slap Your Coworker Day, and
across the face.
I was tempted to slap you out of love this morning just to wake you up and bring you back to reality, because I know you're riding the wave from Iron Maiden last night. We got a lot of texts already this morning saying how great it was. I was telling Nick off air, I got a text last night from a friend who said, this is Jared. You guys know Jared. He texted in and said that it was not only the greatest Maiden show he's ever been to, but the greatest show he's ever been to. And a lot of people echoed that via text here at the station. And then he mentioned his wife, Mal, just wanted to pass along the word penis, which I appreciate. And penis right back at you.
If there's one
penis
word
for
that,
everyone.
Okay. His wife says if there's one word that she wants thrown into the mix at 5:42, it is, again,
penis.
Penis. I can't argue with Jared. The band was perfect. They were perfect.
And it's cool.
Bruce Dickinson, the lead singer, like we discussed yesterday about the guy's, unbelievable talents. I think we call him the greatest athlete in the world today because what he's able to accomplish on a stage at his age.
He's still doing it?
Sounds better than ever.
That's awesome.
The first 2 tracks were Caught Somewhere in Time, and Maiden fans know what I'm talking about. The rest of you have to sit this one out just for a second. The first 2 songs were Caught Somewhere in Time, off the Somewhere in Time record. The second track was Stranger in a Strange Land, also off the Somewhere in Time record, and they sounded absolutely identical to the album.
That's great.
Identical to the album because of the skill set that Bruce Dickinson still has cooking. There was a moment during the show where the crowd and the band held a moment of silence for their recently passed former bandmate, Paul Di'Anno. And, even that was perfectly done. So, the whole effing thing, Cubby, it was so well done and so beautiful. The word that comes to mind is spiritual.
I can understand that. I felt that at a concert before.
It was friggin' spiritual.
How did their drummer, Nico McBrain, look? Now, he's recently said he can't do everything he used to do, but so he's been finding different ways to play some of these songs to make it still work. I know you pay attention.
I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't aware that Nico had said that. It's interesting that he did, because I did notice that Nico kept it a little more simple than usual, but you didn't notice a thing because...
It's still Nico.
It's still Nico.
Light Nico is better than most any other drummer out there.
I wasn't aware that he had mentioned that, but, you can't be a kid forever. Whatever shortcomings he may have were absolutely unnoticed.
Did you get to hear the song that you wanted to hear, Alexander the Great?
Alexander the Great. Yes, Wapple.
Nice.
That's awesome.
It was just magical.
Did you cry like you predicted you would?
Didn't cry. I thought maybe I would drop to a knee and bawl like a child. Instead, it was just a light misting. A light misting of the eyes during a couple of songs. Josh? Oh, God.
I get that way more often nowadays, and things that used to not affect me whatsoever. So I can imagine I'd feel the same way there.
But I got to admit, I'm feeling a little beat. and I'm wildly unprepared for today's broadcast. Wildly unprepared.
Hey, that's all right. It's Iron Maiden.
I'm probably going to F the show up at one point or another, maybe beyond repair. But it was just a terrific night. Terrific night.
Yeah, all the reviews that have been coming in have been very positive.
My goodness. Just, and they said they'll be back. They said they'll be back. You never know these days. But they don't show any signs of slowing down. And I'll take their word for it. They'll be back. Slap your coworker day, you say, huh?
Yeah. You can. There's a lot of different slaps, right? And the one I offered today was out of love, just to bring you back. Like,
Man.
hey, it's reality again.
I could use one. If there's ever a morning where I might need a crack across the yap, it could be today. I was right at ringside on the day, Josh, where you came the closest you'll probably ever come to striking a coworker, and it was incredible to watch, and I wish you would have.
What?
Do you know the day I'm talking about? When you shot out of your chair?
Oh, yeah.
That was
I remember
probably...
because I've only shot out of my chair a couple times.
Yeah.
I was injured half those amount of times.
You don't like any sudden movements. You never have.
No.
But on this day...
Movements in general,
right.
Yeah.
On this day, you were so furious at one of our ex-coworkers that you shot out of your damn chair.
I couldn't believe the disrespect.
It was the closest you'll probably ever come to striking a coworker, and I wish you would have. That was something to see. Oh, I mentioned it before. The greatest arguer of our time, Cubby. He's a brilliant arguer. Maybe there's a better word for that, but that's all I can come up with. You can't be beat because you're a thinking man's arguer.
I don't know about that.
You are. You remember everything that's said to you in an argument, and you perfectly can then take prior information and use it against your opponent later in the argument.
Well, I can't say it's necessarily a strategy. It's more just I'm listening in case, well, maybe I'm incorrect here. So I'm trying to take the information in and see if I have it wrong.
It's a skill. It's a skill that you were born with. I don't have that skill. When an argument happens, when I'm in an argument, I get so friggin' mad that I can't think straight. You know,
well, because you want to win.
I do.
Your goal is to win an argument, right?
Josh can take something that you said a half hour ago and rub it into your face if you contradict yourself. You got to see it. You got to be there to understand what I'm talking about, maybe. But damn, I wish you would have just, boom, that one dude, just pa-pa right across his face.
I would love to see you slap somebody.
Well, you know what? I just don't think men should slap.
Probably not.
That's just how our generation, it didn't seem right to slap somebody.
No, we were told and taught that, we punch. A slap amongst men is disrespectful.
If we're going to take, 10 paces or whatever it is and have a duel, if that's commonplace where I grab my riding gloves and slap someone across the face to say, all right, we're going to do this, that's one thing.
Yeah, I wish you would have done it anyway. Text us, 651-989-9393. I'd like to know, have you ever seen a physical scrap at work? We've come close here a few times. We've come close to physical scraps, but I don't think we ever saw one here, did we?
No. I don't know if I've ever even heard one where I wasn't around.
Dude, 651-989-9393. You ever seen a physical scrap at work?
That's surprising that you guys have never seen one here.
Because of all the uncorked and immature personalities in and formerly in the building?
Yep.
And you guys have seen this dysfunction, certainly, over the years, but it doesn't compare to how it was when we first started.
Oh, I'm sure not. I've heard stories from not just here, but other radio stations where the old-timers have said, not to call you guys old-timers, but they've said, you would not imagine what it was like back in the day.
I'm going to hold on to the fact that you called us old-timers.
Yeah, that, as soon as that came out of my mouth,
I can live with it.
I'm in trouble.
I feel it this morning. I can live with it.
Well, I remember we had a program. We used to have these things called carts that would play the commercial. They look like 8 tracks, if you even know what those look like.
Mm-hmm.
And so like a bigger Nintendo cartridge. I don't know how to say it in today's terms, but he would throw those things at you if he got mad. Which, of course, could derail the commercials because he just destroyed the only way we play commercials. But
there were a lot of temper tantrums and folks who would throw things and break things and scream back and forth at each other. Just
the
scream.
I remember being surprised by that when I first started here, when I started as an intern, the amount of screaming. And the fact that I'm looking around like nobody's getting in trouble. I'm like, oh, no, that's the boss. Just the yelling back and forth.
By the way, going back to a compliment that I regularly give to Josh. A minute ago, I was, again, complimenting his skill set when it comes to arguments. You're so dialed in that moment. Calling you a great arguer, it didn't really roll off the tongue. I feel like there's a word I'm missing. And a couple listeners have texted in that said that the proper term is that Josh is a master debater.
Oh, yeah.
You are excellent. Yeah, the screaming is what really grabbed me in the early days working in this building, in this business. Full-on adults at the top of their lungs screaming, and not hollering. This is hollering. Hey, you know what I mean? With a little bass. That's hollering.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you? This is screaming. You know what
ridiculous.
I mean? And it was a friggin' thing. Fully grown adults, top of their lungs screaming.
There's a difference, right? Because have you heard this? Have you heard this before where they'll say, man, I can't believe he yelled at me. And you're like, well, I was there. There was no yelling whatsoever. It was a stern, like, hey, you can't do that. Like, that's considered yelling to some people. But back then, it was, like you said, top of their lungs, terrifying screaming.
Yeah.
And from the biggest bosses in the building.
From the folks who were supposedly the leaders.
Yeah, you're supposed to calm things down.
Right, the folks who were supposedly in charge of all of us. Yeah, it was something to see back in the day, but we never saw anyone get smacked in the mouth. A few texts are coming in. Here's a guy says, working construction. One guy pulled another out of a car and punched him in the face.
Jeez.
Cool.
There are the texts are popping. I just sometimes they're tough to keep up with.
There was somebody that said one guy ended up in jail and the other guy ended up in the hospital. I don't know which guy I'd rather be. I think I'd rather be the hospital guy.
I'd rather go to the friggin' hospital.
Depending on, how long I'm in there. Right.
Here's St. Paul Lino Jesus. There was flooring thrown at him, and we ended up fighting in the back room of a grocery store. They must have been working at two coworkers in the back room of a grocery store, supposed to be doing a job, and they're throwing bombs at each other.
I'm picturing Booker T and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
They made a mess of that friggin' grocery store.
They sure did.
There's a few folks that are saying it happens quite often where there's fistfights at work.
That's something.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say, Josh, when you almost slapped a guy, would that have been in the era where, you wouldn't have had any repercussions for it, or could you have gotten fired for slapping that guy?
I was like across the room from him, basically. I just got up out of my chair quickly. Yeah, back then you could have done whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it wouldn't have mattered. You would have walked in and told the boss what happened, and the boss would be like, well, sounds like he had it coming.
Yeah.
And then the boss would take a couple of swipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if these texts are coming in from listeners saying there's a lot, it's a regular thing for there to be physical altercations at work.
Quite a few,
Are these folks keeping their jobs?
Are they professional wrestlers?
Oh, yeah, get back.
Right.
Are they all? I wonder. Because you're right. They haven't really said that so far. I haven't seen any. They're coming in pretty quick.
Maybe it goes without saying that these folks never came back after punching each other in the face at work, but maybe there are some situations where folks are keeping their jobs after something like that for different reasons. One reason could be that you got no one else to choose from, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Certain lines of work, it's not like you can just make a phone call and hire okay, we need a wall guy and a floor guy and an electrical guy. Some of these situations, they're not that easy to find replacements, so these guys, they're needed. They're going to come back no matter what. That could be one reason.
Beer brewing and drinking, Jesus said there was a guy that he just couldn't get along with. Eventually it came to blows, and now they're very good friends. That's kind of how it goes sometimes, right?
That can happen.
He said we just needed to get it out of our system.
That can happen. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Sorry, we can't respond as quickly as we used to with our text machine. They used to be a lot easier to reply to, but they just roll by so quickly now when you get them cooking. Oh, wait a minute here. Okay, but I'm doing my best. Appreciate the text. I don't want my comments there to slow you down. We'll catch up. 651-989-9393. Again, the subject is, you ever seen a physical scrap at work? What the hell is this? Somebody texted in to say, at a roofing job, one guy killed another with a skill saw?
No way.
Man.
Did you
Crap.
see that happen?
Yuck.
Did he keep his job?
It's a kill saw. Local 34 Jesus said, try pouring concrete 20 years ago with some old grizzled concrete guys screaming matches daily. I mentioned this before, so I landscaped for many, many years while I worked here. And the worst days were the concrete days. That's where the nicest people were screaming the most terrible things. I hated working those days for that reason, just the stress. And it wasn't something we did every day, so it wasn't like we were perfect at it. A couple guys kind of took charge. They knew what they were doing. But yeah, just the yelling and anger, those were terrifying days. I know what you're saying, Local 34 Jesus.
Here's a guy saying he worked summers up there in North Dakota. There was a fight at least once a week. It was rare for anyone to stay after their first paycheck. Damn meth.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the guys were smoking meth rocks up there. That's not good. Well, we appreciate the text. Like I said, we'll catch up. Speaking of screaming matches here in the building, our engineer, Mike, I know he'll appreciate me telling this one on the air. And maybe you had to be there. But this was my first gig in the building many years ago. I worked with a guy who was... He's not my favorite person in the world. Never was. I could go on and on about what I didn't like about the guy, what I didn't like about the show we were putting on, but that doesn't really matter. I think I've made these comments before. But our show was struggling terribly, and everybody knew it. The guy who was kind of the leader on our morning show at the time, he was a pretty volatile guy, and he would get in a lot of screaming matches. And again, like Josh and I have been discussing, at first it was shocking to see adults acting like this at work. Of course, we'd all seen that in our personal lives, but at work? I mean, I worked a pile of warehouse jobs before I got into radio, and I never saw some of the childlike behavior that I saw once I got here, and we still see it today. So anyway, the guy I was working with at the time, pretty volatile. And, of course, our engineer, Mike, as we've mentioned before, you know, he's calmed down quite a bit. When he was young working here in the building, he was not the guy you wanted to mess with.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be on his bad side now, but back then, no way.
So one day, Donnie, we'll call the guy that I was working with at the time, Donnie and Mike get in this screaming match over some technical issue we had on the show. So Donnie's mad at Mike because Mike's the engineer, and he's supposed to make all these things work. And Mike is yelling back at Donnie, basically saying, look, you know, you can't polish a turd, right? And again, our ratings were in the garbage. And maybe you had to be there. They're screaming back and forth. And it got to the point where Donnie is screaming to Mike, yeah, you sawed-off little prick bastard. You look like a 12-year-old, you little son of a bitch, things like that. And Mike saying back to Donnie, yeah, you big fat-ass, ugly bastard. I mean, they're just getting really personal. And the screaming stops. Mike takes about 5 steps away from Donnie as if he's leaving the room. He turns back to Donnie and he goes, oh, yeah, by the way, Donnie, nice ratings. And that made Donnie go nuclear.
Oh, that's cold.
Because Donnie knew our show sucked but didn't want to admit it. And he wanted to keep those terrible ratings a secret. Hey, Donnie, yeah, nice ratings.
And wasn't he kind
of... I had to hold my laugh in, Josh, because I didn't want any part of that show anymore, but I had no choice.
Wasn't he one of those guys, too, that would check the ratings daily like you might check your fantasy sports or something?
Oh, yeah.
And he'd want to know every market everywhere, what station's doing what. That
obsessed. It was a sick obsession.
Yeah, that's gross.
You know...
Dumbass.
Some fun times around here, weren't they, Josh?
Yeah, fun, and I don't miss them at all. But I'm glad I got to see it.
Yeah, me too.
Dumbass Welder Jesus said, not fighting, but work-related. I've always loved the "this place won't run without me" guy.
Oh.
You know what I've noticed about a lot of those guys? The place runs just fine without them. Or before it ran fine, and afterwards it'll be fine.
You're correct. Every joint has the, it would happen. It wouldn't happen without me. Every place has the "it wouldn't happen without me" guy or girl. It's a beautiful thing, and you're right. 99.9 times out of 100, going to be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
It was always like managers at restaurants that were like that. And they left and everything went on as it was.
It is kind of weird. I can't imagine having the thought, well, if I leave, they're really screwed. You know, radio's been around for a long time. The show's been around for a long time. I think everybody's going to be great. Maybe it'll be better.
And just in general, people can adapt.
Right.
You know,
it's like
no matter what you do for a living, you've got 10, 12, 20, 30 people, whatever, the group that you work with every day. When someone who's supposedly so valuable leaves, people can adapt and fill that role. I'm sorry to insult anyone's ego out there who thinks that they are the person that holds everything together. People can adapt and make it work without you.
Yeah, it might suck for a little while, but they'll figure it out. There was one time they fired a guy who said, I'm going across the street and I'm going to tear you down, right?
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, he's like, you guys are done. You don't know what you're doing, whatever. And it was, this is the thing, like, it sucks when somebody gets fired, even if you don't really, well, in my opinion, even if you don't really like it. That sucks. Somebody lost their job. But this person had so many chances, really got in his own way. And I really thought, oh, shoot, this could be bad. I bet somebody's going to pick him up immediately. And
you almost sort of believed his threat just for a second or two?
I definitely believed the threat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never took it seriously for a second. No.
I thought it was likely. I thought, sure, but then I was shocked that nothing happened.
Yeah, I'm going to go across town and bury this place. That's what I'm going to do. And you know what? Nothing happened.
Well,
it never does.
If you get the reputation that you're difficult to work with, people are thinking, it's not worth it. Yeah, but I was a little surprised.
That argument that I was talking about between Donnie and Mike, that was right around the same time period where that gal farted on me.
Oh.
What a stretch of time in your life, man.
I'm telling you, this place was just a goat rodeo, day after day. I know nowadays it's almost too far the other way. There's only about 9, 10 of us in the whole building, right? It's very quiet in here now. It's almost too far the other way. But back in the beginning, at least my beginning, Cubby's beginnings, this place was just kind of a lawless asylum, is how I would describe it. But that was right around the same time period where that gal launched that huge fart at me.
And I think the best part is her attitude afterwards. Like, she weaponized that flatulence.
She did.
You got to tell that story for anybody who hasn't heard it. I know you've told it before, but it's her attitude was fascinating.
Dude,
alarming.
I thought I was on a game show or a prank show. I thought for sure this was a gimmick. This was when I was working with that Donnie guy. And again, the show sucked. There were a couple of us on the show who knew why it sucked and tried to correct it, but Donnie wouldn't take our advice because we were new and he was Donnie, right? He's been doing this for years. You young guys got some ideas? All right, I'll humor you. Go ahead, right? But he'd never take any of that advice because we were new and he was Donnie. So the show was sucking eggs, and Donnie was just windmilling new people in and out of the program. And he was so sure each of these new people was going to be what we need on the show. Hey, I got this new guy, so all our problems are solved. I'm Donnie.
I like how we ended that.
Yeah. And then he would try, and then he would quickly realize he made a mistake and gas that new person and then bring in another new person. So it was just, there were days that I would walk in here where it wasn't uncommon to be sitting in this is how we used to do it. We'd sit in a big room and we'd all show prep together. Well, not all of us. Sometimes it'd be, 3 people in one room, 2 in the other. But I would walk in and there'd be a complete stranger sitting in the show prep room. Okay, this must be Donnie's new person. And one morning, I came into the room where I always sat for show prep, and there was this quite attractive young lady sitting. She already had her own desk, which kind of threw me. Well, where the hell did you get that desk, and who are you? You know what I mean?
She brought it herself.
But this gal wanted to make a statement right away, that she was a somebody and she was here to save this program. Radio's so full of just narcissistic, arrogant people, and she was one of them. So I walk in, here's this complete stranger, attractive young lady. She's already sitting at a desk, and I sit down, and I think she said, I'm Missy. Donnie hired me, and I said, I'm Nick, and we went to total silence because she was prepping this and that, and so was I. And maybe, 10 minutes of silence went by, and we're both prepping, and suddenly, and out of nowhere, she launched the loudest, longest, wettest, most disgusting fart I had ever heard up to that point in my life, and I am the son of a truck driver. None of those. Add all of those up, they don't compare to what this... Well, what happened? Did they get cut off, those guys?
They did. How about that one?
That is maybe the most comparable. Absolutely out of nowhere, just... And I remember I continued to stare at the papers in my lap out of absolute shock. I could not believe that it had happened. And then, like I mentioned, I thought... Can we hear the guys from China again with the real deal? Because that's... I can't believe it got cut off.
Oh, that's the best.
I am in absolute shock at what I had just heard. And slowly, I lift my head up to look in this complete stranger's direction who I had met 10 minutes prior. And she looks me dead in the eye and says, hey, I fart. That's what I do. And I'm going to be part of this show. You're going to have to get used to it. That's part of what I do, and you're going to have to deal with it. I'm not kidding you.
I hate that one.
And I waited about 10 seconds, and I said, okay, and went back to my work. I could not. That was the statement that she wanted to make on day one. I am a farter, and I'm going to do it when I want to.
Either fart in your first day of work or become someone's bitch.
I had never in my life experienced something so bizarre and so disgusting.
That's pretty weird.
And the gal was gone in 2 days because she was absolutely incapable of providing anything to the program.
Hey, I jack off. That's what I do.
Right.
I'm jacking off.
Yeah,
Man,
you know what I do?
Part of this, I like just to jack off.
I cut myself deep until I bleed, and then I suck the blood up. That's what. It's just my thing.
Hey, I eat other people's boogers. That's what I do.
It's called self-mutilation. Get used to it.
How about this? This has got to be good. You know what? We should talk to some HR people to hear stories like this. Recently fired a guy, this text says. His first comment was, you sure you want to do that?
Oh, my God.
Even get through it.
You sure you want to do that?
How can you not hate your own guts for saying...
I know.
I'm hoping later on he went, geez, that was so douchey.
Yeah.
I was just shocked. I was angry. I was sad. I was lashing out. I wasn't expecting to get fired. You sure you want to do that?
You want to take that step, huh? With me? You want to fire me?
Hey, I'll be fine. I'm just worried about you, bro.
I mean, just oblivious. Oblivious. Thank you again for listening to the fart story. It is one of my favorites to tell. I know it's been told before. Coming up this holiday season, I'll tell you about my grandma and the clan.
No. We can skip that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we got to check these texts now because our brilliant listening audience has been texted in now for quite a stretch of time on physical confrontations at work. Man. Things can get squirrely. They can. It's work.
Hey, you're with the same people day in, day out. It can be a little much, probably. And some people, they like to bring in their moods and take it out on everybody else.
Love that bit. I love that. I'm going to bring my bad mood to work and take it out on everybody else person. That is such a massive sign of maturity. I love that gimmick. Hey, I'm in a bad mood, all right? Yeah? but also you're not 9 anymore. So you should have the ability to, once you enter your workplace, to rid yourself of your personal... That is an all-timer.
That's an interesting thought process, or lack thereof.
Later on, we're going to have... Are we still scheduled to have this double whammy of blown-up athletic conversation?
Yeah, we are. Getting double teamed today.
It's a dub. We're going to get Eiffel Towered this morning by first Dinkus from the Vikings and then Dinkus from the Man Bear Pigs. First Andrew DePaola and then Mark Foligno. It's a double shot of big blown up, shaved down, cut athletes.
That'll be fun. I love
they
those
shave
guys.
everything.
They do.
There's not a lick of hair on either one of them. And they're going to be joining us one after the other later on when Randy Shaver comes on into the mix.
Off day for Depot. I mean, for us, usually it'd be Fridays, but because they have a Thursday night game, he's coming in early. So that'll be cool to talk to him. I love that guy. You know, it's funny. We get pictures sometimes from folks that go to the game that now are taking pictures of the long snapper warming up before the game. Have you guys seen those?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fun.
awesome.
It's what we do. We make folks famous around here. Which is why you probably be a bad idea to ever let any of us go. It's what we do. Hey, it's what we do. It's the entertainment business.
Hey, Depot, you want a career in the NFL? You better keep us around.
You want a career? Do you?
Who else wants a career in professional sports?
You want to make the Pro Bowl? You better get in with the big dogs then.
The big dogs.
Come on in with the dogs.
Make your ass famous.
Made me sick to my stomach.
It's a dog. That was an actual quote from a salesperson here in the building a few years ago.
Ridiculous that he said that.
He was on the phone with some client. Yeah, it's me, the sales guy. What's going on? You want some airtime? You do? You want to sell some ads? Or, pardon me, you want to buy some ads? You better get in with the big dogs.
Vomit everywhere.
That's what we do. We make your product work on the radio, dude. Do you even understand that?
The big dogs.
You can't even understand how the big dogs operate. You can't. Okay, I've taken it too far. We got to take a break. We'll be right back on the program.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud. They lose control. They do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this winter. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst time.
Hey, Ashley here. Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Have a boiler? Save $40 on your boiler tune-up. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings. Stay cozy, stay ready.
Robinhood's Hood Week is here. 12 days, 3 legendary offers, and unlimited bonus amounts. Earn 3% on IRA transfers with Robinhood Gold, 2% on transfers with at least a $10,000 margin balance, and 1% on brokerage transfers until October 27th. Hood Week ends soon, so visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right. Tell you what. We got so many friggin' text messages on our conversation from earlier. Our conversation was, you ever witnessed a friggin' fight at work? Some kind of scrap? We got so many of those damn text messages. Maybe we can revisit that a little later in the program. Do you like the sound of that, Cubby?
Oh, I'd love to. There's some good stuff coming in. Some scary stuff coming in, actually.
I'm not scared. Not as long as you're here. You know what I'm saying?
I'll protect you. Operation Human Shield, I think they call that.
Oh, God. All right. On to the stupid news. Today's report begins with, what do I have? Oh, look out, Taylor Swift. There are jagoffs in their 40s willing to go to jail to get close to you. Not that I think I need to tell Taylor Swift that there are piles of mentally ill people out there that love her a little too much. I'm sure she could tell some stories on sick stalker fans, but for starters here, I got for you a 44-year-old feller who played a little dress-up so he could see the Taylor show down there in Miami, Florida. He posed as a security guard so he could sneak on into the joint and see the Taylor Swift concert. Dressed up as a security guard. Probably playing pocket pool the entire time, too, while he stands there.
Yeah. That's a bit disturbing.
Did you know those guys who played a hell of a lot of pocket pool?
We had a algebra teacher who played a lot.
Our principal was incredible at pocket pool back in elementary school.
7th grade, that's where I learned the term pocket pool from people describing our algebra teacher. I hadn't noticed, but when someone brought it up, it's all I could watch.
It's creepy to be doing that at school. I mean, it's creepy doing it anywhere in public, but in school as a teacher, that's just gross.
I am going to agree 100%.
I know that was a bold take, you know, a bold stance to take at 6:29 on a Wednesday morning, but I had to go. I had to put it out there.
Well, let me be clear about something. I'm 99.99% sure that our principal was not trying to stimulate himself. He just was one of them guys who kind of knocks it around when his hands are in his pockets.
I think the same thing about ours.
I knew the guy. I did. He was not some kind of sick perv. Pocket pool doesn't necessarily mean you're stroking yourself. Pocket pool's just you kind of did it, but you kind of knock it around. Just you're bored.
Yeah, some people might doodle. They noodle, I guess. Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't think it was a perversion of just kind of a nervous tick.
Then you got some dude have fungus down there. I told you the story about the old coworker, older than the hills, effing guy I worked at a warehouse job with. He was always tearing at it, always tugging at it from outside of his pants. Well, I think he had some kind of friggin' fungus down there, or it was just a nervous habit. I don't think he was really, playing with his damn... Anyway, here's this guy, 44 years old, dressed up like a security guard so he could sneak into the Taylor Swift show in Miami. Dude goes by the name of Ivan Mariotti, and he got arrested for falsely impersonating an officer and some other things. What a clown. Like I said, dude is 44.
It's pretty embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd almost be more worried if I were him about the Swifties, Taylor Swift fans, than I would the police in this instance.
What do they do? Like get in a bus and go town to town kicking people's asses
They're
or something?
very passionate fans, and if you have a slight or a threat or anything against Taylor, you're in some serious trouble.
They'll take you down.
They will take you down.
On social media.
Or elsewhere.
Do they? What are you guys saying? Do they travel town to town and beat people's asses?
Well, it's not like
more they'll dox somebody and or they'll they'll just dox them. So or call their job.
They'll dog some?
Dox. It's where you say you reveal their personal information online to give other people enough information to take things out on you, whatever they're going to do.
For Christ's sake. This guy, according to the story, Ivan was spotted standing around at the concert dressed in some kind of silly suit with a badge around his neck. A real cop asked Ivan, "Why are you wearing a badge?" And Ivan made up some nonsense about how he'd been hired by 4 women's to work as a security guard for them at the show. Oh, he said he escorted the women to their seats, and he didn't have a ticket. He didn't need one. He's working. I think Ivan gestured towards the 4 women nearby, hoping that they would back him up. The women said, okay, we recognize this Ivan guy. He drove us to the show. He's an Uber guy or something like that, right? But they said, he's not a security guard, for Christ's sake. Just a driver man.
I would be so confused if I got an Uber and they got out with me.
Yeah. It's going to park here.
Ivan was hoping, maybe the women would back him up so he could stand there a little longer and fantasize about Taylor Swift some more.
Maybe he thought, Travis Kelce. Did you guys know that he's dating Taylor Swift?
Oh, good for them.
Are you guys aware of that?
I thought it was Jason Kelce.
No, Jason Kelce's got a wife.
Oh, all right.
Travis Kelce, their whole romance began at a Taylor Swift concert, did it not? Because he was complaining about something about the wristband.
He wanted to give her a friendship bracelet, but he didn't get the opportunity to. So he talked about it on his podcast afterwards, and then that's what kind of sparked things.
All right. Busted! Dana knows too much about this. Get him, Swifty. That's a little creepy that you had all the information.
A friendship bracelet?
Yes.
That's the cutest damn thing I've heard all day. So this guy, once the cop realized he was playing dress up, that was the end of the Taylor Swift show for him. He was sent off to jail. Sent off to jail. A grown man who just played pretend security guard and lost. 44 years old. I imagine maybe he's got a wife and a kid or two.
Oh, that'd be embarrassing.
Jesus
yeah, the whole thing's
Christ.
pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, overall.
So, Cubby, that Cybertruck that everybody pokes fun at, did you know, because you're the car guy around here, did you know that the sumbitch is supposedly bulletproof?
Yeah, they were advertising that when they debuted it, however many, 4 years ago or whenever they first brought it out. They took, I think it was a hammer, they took to the window to say, check it out. This thing, it can withstand anything, and it shatters.
Yeah, it just shatters right away.
All right, everybody, look at this. It's pretty incredible.
Well, if you catch it just right, it might, but that's a 1 in a million shot.
When they first rolled the vehicle out onto a stage for a big presentation, a big grand introduction, somebody swung at it with a hammer to prove how tough it is, and a window broke?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I even saw a video. They came out with like a new iPad or like TV or computer monitor, one of those, and they were like, all right, someone come up here, try to break this. He broke it right away.
Being right isn't a bulletproof vest, Freddie. What movie? 651-989-9393. Being right isn't a bulletproof vest, Freddie. And whoever gets the first correct answer will receive great praise live on the radio. Okay, I hadn't heard this story that Cybertrucks are bulletproof. Word is here now then, there are many, many attention-starved social media dorks making videos. Medical Device Jesus is correct. The movie is Copland. There are many social media dorks making videos where they fire weapons at their Cybertruck to test the bulletproof theory. Money must not mean much to these people.
Right. I wish I had that amount of money where I could just destroy a $100,000 vehicle.
Apparently the latest individual to put together a watch me shoot my Cybertruck video is a porn actor dude by the name of Dante Cole. He took time away from pumping foxy ladies to pump his Cybertruck smooth full of bullets to test if it's really bulletproof. And I don't know, I guess it was, but it also wasn't. Dode pointed a handgun at his Cybertruck, which they say here cost $100,000. He pointed a handgun at the vehicle in the middle of an open field. To me, this sounds like a great way to take a ricochet to the chest and then die like Robert Duvall did in the 1988 movie Colors.
He goes at it from an angle, so maybe that's kind of what they're trying to avoid. But
would you shoot at close range at your motor vehicle, or would you be fearing a ricochet is going to tear through your, what do you call this, your jugular vein?
Well, if I was with some sort of firearms expert and they said how to do it, it would be kind of fun to shoot up a car, I think.
Yeah.
I would be afraid of death. But this guy, again, the porn star, he went ahead and fired a handgun at his Cybertruck. He fired twice. One of the bullets, it says, became lodged inside the truck, but the bullet did not go through. So I don't know what to make of that. So is it bulletproof or not? What I don't understand is, what were they expecting? Were they expecting the bullets to just go bouncing off like it's the Batmobile? The vehicle was dented. It was scraped. A bullet sort of penetrated this, but didn't go all the way through that. So I don't know if we should call this successful or not, Josh. What would you say?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Is it supposed to absorb it? That'd be my guess, instead of just be bouncing off like Wonder Woman bracelets or whatever.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a great design.
Yeah, because, I mean, Kevlar, it doesn't bounce off. The bullet wouldn't bounce off. It kind of absorbs it. And isn't that considered bulletproof?
I have no idea what to consider at this point.
We're getting a lot of text saying to look up Whistling Diesel on YouTube. He put C4 on the doors, and it's just minimal damage. That'd be fun, too.
It's a hell of a deal.
Messing around with some C4? Like a blast. I want to blow something up.
I want one of those urban armored vehicles, like super rich people can get, where everything's bulletproof and it can withstand IED and stuff like that.
Well, again, like I said, social media dorks are all over this bit. There's some YouTube kid out there called Zach Nelson. He uploaded a video of him unloading rounds from an arsenal of firearms at a Cybertruck. He tried a 9mm, a 22 caliber rifle, 17 caliber, AR-15, 50 everything.
So much wasted money.
Yeah, this stuff sounds like it would be fun to watch unless you paid for that vehicle.
I mean, if you could afford it, that's not wasted money, Ashley. It does sound fun.
Yeah, that's true.
You're taking a 50 cal to it? Yes, please.
What the hell?
Oh, my arm would blow off.
Oh, my gosh,
I would not be able to hold
You'd be in a different county,
Yep.
Wapo.
So I guess, I don't know. I don't know what they've proven here. It is, for the most part, bulletproof. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand where we're landing here. Little bit? Halfway?
People are texting in saying it's more bullet resistant than necessary. Yeah, so I think is it Resvani trucks? That's the text coming in. I think that's how it's pronounced. Yeah, those are exactly the ones I was talking about.
So you want to roll through town like there's a zombie apocalypse happening?
Why not? If you could afford it, just be prepared.
Hey, there's the SWAT team. No, that's just Josh.
Dude,
you should look up those trucks if you haven't seen them.
Yeah, those are sick.
Don't go shooting at cars, Cubby, unless you get that firearms expert that you were talking about. Don't go doing that. I don't need a bullet bouncing off the bumper and hitting you in the friggin' chest, and then I got to go live with your wife and kids.
They might appreciate that. Look, did you see the Resvanis?
Josh, you would look so
What's
cool.
What's a Resvani? That's the zombie apocalypse vehicle that you want to... All right, a Resvani is how you call it.
Oh, it kind of looks like that rig that Woody Harrelson set up in Zombieland.
Mm-hmm. It just looks like it looks like a cool version of the Cybertruck. Yeah, it looks like a very cool vehicle. I don't know. If I was in 4th grade, this stuff would really thrill me. I guess I don't get the point of.
I've always wanted to shoot that tannerite stuff. God, that looks fun too.
What does that mean?
It's like
it goes boom.
Yeah, it's like a pack of powder, and you shoot it, and it blows up.
Oh, okay.
My buddy that came to Wisconsin with us last weekend, Lanahan. I should have told you this ahead of time. You want to blow things up? Talk to Lanahan.
Oh.
He's a sick sumbitch.
Oh man,
he's blown up everything you can. Cars, picnic tables, the houses of his enemies. He's an explosives expert. Talk to Lanahan. I'll give you his cell phone number, but you can't. You got to use code names.
He is very good at dice, too. Oh, man. That was fun.
The more I learn about this guy, the more I fall in love with him.
Lanahan?
Yeah.
All right, your guess is as good as mine as to what was wrong with this guy here. 56-year-old guy in Tennessee. He's on one of those motorcycles. He was arrested in Michigan. He was pulled over for speeding. Okay, he's going too fast on his motorcycle. And when he was pulled over, that's when cops noticed that the guy had a chihuahua tucked inside his jacket.
Cute.
And a gun strapped to the gas tank.
Sweet. That seems very Road Warrior, doesn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. He was arrested for carrying a concealed pistol without a license. He told, I love it. Because some of you might be saying, what's this Tennessee guy doing in Michigan on his motorcycle with a chihuahua and a friggin' gun taped to his damn... He told police he was going to visit his girlfriend. The dog was free to go. The man was arrested. The dog was free to go.
That's good.
And if the dog could talk, I imagine the dog would say, hey, ball bag, as much as you want to believe that I enjoy riding on your motorcycle with you, I don't. I'm terrified. But since you feed me, I trust you, because that's what we dogs do.
Yep.
Stop using me to make yourself seem more interesting than you really are, is what the dog might say.
I saw a German Shepherd riding on the back of a Honda Goldwing once, and that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I thought, what a country we live in. You guys ever seen that? A dog riding on a motorcycle?
Yep.
Yes.
How does it stay there?
One with little glasses and the whole ordeal.
Oh, he
little
didn't
goggles.
He or she didn't have that. They were just sitting back there.
I'm a proud F-boy. Hell, I'm the OG, son.
You wanted to be an F-boy since you heard about F-boys.
I was an F-boy before F-boys were cool. Way before. Wait. I don't remember what an F-boy is. Someone tell me what an F-boy is.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, you're probably the OG F-boy. Somebody that, I guess, kind of like a dude version of a slut.
Yeah. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, well then, hell yeah, I'm the original F-boy.
I think that's how they got the show. They just modeled it off of your life.
Yep.
I've always been an F-boy. All right, here's another one of these gimmicks. Would you ever consider this? Renting out a billboard begging for a woman to marry you. I don't know. Not my style.
No, I don't think so.
A specific woman or just any woman in general?
All that I ask is that you're a woman. Any woman, Dana. Renting out a billboard. Yes, you would do this. This is totally Dana.
Would that be creepy, Ashley? How would you take that if it's directed at you?
Endearing.
But let's say you're not in a relationship with this person.
Creepy.
You know them. Yeah. That's the difference, right?
Yeah, you don't know the guy. Suddenly there's a billboard up in town sending messages of love directly to you. You call the police.
Yeah, I would assume I'm going to be murdered
If
soon.
it's someone you're familiar with, you go, oh, cue it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Says here a cat out there in stupid New Jersey rented a billboard. And the billboard mentions that he's looking to get married. And the billboard stresses that he is not an F-boy. Not an F-boy.
You know, there's certain people, including myself, you could just look at them and go, well, that's not an F-boy.
Right.
You don't even have to say it.
That's true.
It just goes without saying.
I am not that it really matters. I don't know. I'm a little confused at the billboard's location. I saw New York City mentioned in here and Toronto. Does it matter, Josh? Do you know the correct answer here?
It could be both.
It doesn't matter. Dude's name is Mohammed Ibrahim. Same name as the Golden Gopher football's greatest no offense, Darrell Thompson, but statistically speaking, this guy's got the same name as the greatest running back in the history of Golden Gopher football, Mohammed Ibrahim.
That's pretty cool.
He says, I promise I'm not an F-boy.
He's a good-looking dude.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he is taking this tactic.
They said he did put his own gorgeous face up on the billboard. I promise I'm not an F-boy, it says. Check this line out. This line supposedly is also on his 1 or 2 or 3 billboards he's got around. One of the lines says, I'm tired of being a best man and not yo man.
Whoa, that's so smooth.
Come on.
I squirmed.
The billboard directs foxy ladies to a website called findmohammedawife.com, where women can apply for a chance to go out on a date with the bastard. He's a 30-year-old now. He's up to 30. And he says the ads have been working. More than 1,000 women have submitted applications. And he's admitted, he is friggin' overwhelmed. He's straight up wetting his pants over the amount of gals looking for a piece of his action. He said, obviously, I can't go on 1,000 dates, but I'm going to see what's out there. By damn I am, he says.
Dude's got to have some bucks. Has a website,
that's what I was
billboards.
He's tried all the dating apps. He's tried jagging off, but that isn't working for him anymore, he says.
Ashley, how about this scenario? A friend of yours sees this handsome gentleman advertising. He's not an F-boy from New York to Toronto. Says, I'm going to reach out to this guy in the billboard. What do you think?
I would tell her, like, no, he's 100% an F-boy. Just clear.
One of those F-boys that's claiming to be a good guy?
Yeah, like, you don't need to explain how you're not something.
I'm an F-boy and a good guy. There's no such thing as a good guy F-boy?
It's not if you're looking for a relationship.
That's what she's saying. I hear what you're saying. The person that says, I'm not this, usually is that.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
What you're saying.
Yep. Especially if they
Otherwise,
go
you
to,
don't
like,
have to
this
say it.
length.
Hey, I'm not someone that's just going to steal your lunch. Like, well, why are you saying that?
Yeah, why are you bringing that up? I never asked.
Mohammed Ibrahim. His goal is to be engaged within the next 2 years, and then he wants to start pumping out those damn babies. He says he wants 4 of them. Oh, he'll regret the hell out of that.
4. Whoa.
Tired of being the best man and not yelled man.
I do like that line, though.
Yeah, that'd be a good lyric in a song.
That is a cool line.
I bet it is somewhere.
All right, we got to get going here shortly. I'll say it again. You drug people are funny. I'd tell you to knock it off with the drug smoking and the drug selling, but I don't want you to. We're having too much fun at your expense. Now, I wasn't aware of this here. Maybe some of you already are. It says here, if you've ever taken one of those miserable plane rides to go see family or whatever for the Christmas holiday season, you've probably heard that you shouldn't pack wrapped gifts.
I didn't know that was
I thought it was because you run the risk of them opening it up for you.
Oh, and all that hard work is for nothing?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Apparently, the way things are set up, the TSA doesn't ban wrapped gifts on an airplane, but wrapped presents are subject to X-ray screening. And like anything else, if the TSA folks can't figure out what's exactly inside, oh, there you go. They'll open them smooth up, right, and they'll ruin all your pretty Christmas wrapping. Here's a lady who did not know any of this. A 23-year-old woman's, again with the friggin' New Jersey, by the name of Sistra. She was arrested a couple weeks ago. She was caught trying to smuggle 25 pounds of marijuanas in Christmas wrapping paper. 25 pounds of marijuana cigarettes wrapped up in Christmas wrapping paper. She was trying to fly to a place called the U.S. Virgin Islands. So, wrapped boxes are always going to attract the security folks, especially when they're wrapped in Christmas paper. And it's October!
Yeah.
You dork! It's a little suspicious.
I bought my first Christmas gift for someone.
Way, Josh.
No, this is nothing new. He's the type of guy you have purchased Christmas items for people in the summer before.
Yeah, if it seems right. If it's like, this will be the perfect gift.
Thoughtful.
And it was for someone on this show. Oh. And it's for the guy that just went, that guy.
Oh.
Already got it.
These are kind of the little things that kept Josh from being a best man and made him yo man. Because he's thoughtful like this. It'll be June. He's wearing his silly little basketball shorts. He's wearing a tank top. He's wandering around Fleet Farm in June. And he'll think, oh, that would be a good Christmas present for somebody. That's what makes you such a cold-blooded pimp. All right, back to this friggin' lady. What was happening? Oh, right. She had a bunch of marijuana wrapped up in Christmas paper, and she got arrested. Someone need to get this gal a calendar, I guess.
She didn't think about that for one second.
Here comes the predictable weak-ass excuse. The lady claims she didn't know what was in the packages. A friend had given them to her.
Oh.
I don't know what's in there. Why? Is it a big... Oh, my God. I didn't know.
They tell you not to accept things from friends or strangers to bring through. They warn you not to do that.
Here's a related story as we move along here. A quick related story. A total dildo from Pennsylvania was arrested last week at the Philadelphia airport for allegedly hiding meth rocks inside an altered shotgun shell. There was nothing else that he could think of to hide meth rocks in that might have been a little less, is the word conspicuous, Josh?
Well, inconspicuous, perhaps?
Inconspicuous, sorry. A shotgun shell. The cops are going to look at a shotgun shell.
Yeah, exactly.
At an airport. That's where he kept his meth rocks.
Yeah, meth brain, I guess. That'll do it to you.
Just going to put this inside this live grenade. They'll never suspect a thing.
That's why we love this crowd so much.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
History tonight. The first father-son duo to play together in an NBA game. This is all in the family. And what a celebration for the James family.
Puke.
It's emotional.
It kind of looked like a take your kid to work day type of moment.
Oh, I couldn't believe that.
That's all it is. That's what I said yesterday. I said LeBron's just turning every ball game now into a father-son game.
Or if you know, like maybe the dad is a mailman and the little kid dresses up like a mailman too to kind of like be like dad. That's
Yep.
Oversized suit.
Yeah. Cute, isn't it? Isn't it cute? Like. Look at that little kid wearing the basketball uniform.
He did look like a kid next to dad.
You can see a picture of their size difference on 93x.com.
What do you mean?
Like
it's a locker room shot.
What's the matter with you guys over there? It's a sick crowd we got here, Cubby. The LA Lakers beat the Wolves last night in the season opener. They're slow starters, the Wolves. They were slow starters last year. I'm not worried about it. They play at Sacramento tomorrow night. Rudy Gobert got some kind of an extension. Okay, fair enough. The Pigs beat the living hell out of the... What happened?
I think that's big. $110 million for 3 years. In the NBA, is that big money?
I have no idea.
It's pretty big.
I really don't. I never follow that kind of thing, Josh, because it's just so out of control now it doesn't even matter.
You know, because sometimes you'd be like, oh, my God, that's so much. Somebody else will say that's next to nothing.
Yeah, I don't have a clue. I'm sure it's a hell of a...
I could live on it.
Sure. The Pigs, we'll talk to Marky Foligno here in about a half hour. They beat the defending champions last night 5-1.
Jeez, I feel like everyone in the NHL played last night. Oh, there was 16 games on TV. It was insane.
Are you going to be all right?
I don't know. I was just shocked. I was like, oh, that's probably a reason why they started at 5:30.
Yeah,
yesterday.
they do that. They do this every season a couple times where all the teams play and they kind of stagger the game. So
I'll tell you what, Wapple, I'll send an email. Maybe they'll take it easy on you next time. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Fernando, you got to get up early for work. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Fernando Valenzuela. Fernando Valenzuela has died. Very sad. Something we can cover later on this morning. At 7:30, we got all kinds of company. It's going to be, what do you call that guy? Brad Ryder, Randy Shaver. And then from the Minnesota Vikings, Andrew DePaola. And like I mentioned, also in the mix, Mark Foligno. We're very busy coming up at 7:30. For now, don't go anywhere because my life partner, Josh, over there has a fresh news report for you.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this winter. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst time.
Hey, Ashley here. Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Have a boiler? Save $40 on your boiler tune-up. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings. Stay cozy, stay ready.
Robinhood's Hood Week is here. 12 days, 3 legendary offers, and unlimited bonus amounts. Earn 3% on IRA transfers with Robinhood Gold, 2% on transfers with at least a $10,000 margin balance, and 1% on brokerage transfers until October 27th. Hood Week ends soon, so visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Check out the podcast that inspired Taylor Sheridan's latest series, Landman.
There's a stretch of road in the oil-rich region of West Texas. This region of West Texas, known as the Permian Basin, is in the midst of the biggest oil boom in history. This is a story of roughnecks, billionaire wildcatters, and wannabe dreamers. My name is Christian Wallace. From Texas Monthly and Imperative Entertainment, this is Boomtown.
Boomtown, wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
Claimed that she had taken a sip of alcoholic beverage with dinner, but we did all our field sobriety tests. We did all the testing that we need to do with our traffic and our DUI units, and the results came back that she was not intoxicated at the time.
A 53-year-old Florida woman accidentally drove a golf cart into the dining area of a restaurant. Ooh, how embarrassing. It happened about 6:30 p.m. Saturday at Taco Tiki in downtown Jensen Beach. Witnesses said the woman drove the golf cart up a handicap ramp and into the patio where people were trying to enjoy their dinners.
Couldn't find that friggin' brake, huh?
The golf cart was parked right in front of the ramp, so when she turned it on and hit the gas, it went straight into the diners, explained the sheriff.
It's just a perfect shot if you watch the video.
Luckily, the tables and chairs, which were made of solid wood, absorbed most of that impact. The woman claimed she wasn't familiar with operating a golf cart. She was with a friend who tried to start it, and it just took off, the sheriff said.
Yeah.
A sobriety test was done, and she passed. However, she was cited for not having insurance, careless driving, and driving an unregistered vehicle. 3 people were taken to the hospital with minor injuries, nothing serious.
That sucks. Old folks hate to hear those stories because they go, oh, here we go again. Now everyone's going to think we're just the most incapable morons on planet Earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, friend's mom hit the wrong pedal and ran into the side of a Chipotle in her vehicle.
There are still quite a few capable old folks out amongst us. They hate to hear stories like this. Josh, I'm not trying to put you on the spot and turn the screws, and I know it's been a while, but what would Steve Urkel say if he would have been the guy behind the wheel? If he would have been behind the wheel of that golf cart, what would Steve Urkel have said?
Did I do that?
Oh, my God.
Oh, that is so spot on.
It gets you get better at that.
I got nervous that time. It's been a while.
Were you nervous?
A little bit, yeah.
Didn't show it at all.
2 quick-thinking passengers on a Colorado bus helped prevent a potential disaster when the driver suddenly collapsed while the bus was still moving. Happened about 7:45 a.m. last Monday. The driver experienced a medical emergency. Footage from inside the bus shows the moment the driver fell from their seat. One passenger, who was holding a coffee cup, quickly moved to the front and asked, "Are you all right?" While another grabbed the radio to alert dispatchers and safely stopped the bus.
Was it a grabber?
It was a seizure.
Oh.
Before the fall, one of the passengers noticed something wrong and made their way toward the front. The other rushed up from the back, took control of the wheel, and brought the bus to a stop, all while contacting dispatch to report the emergency.
I am on number 1 Southbound Academy. Your bus driver is having a seizure. I am parking the bus. He's breathing, but the seizure seems to have stopped.
According to a spokesperson for the bus company, they knew who the second passenger was, but weren't able to contact him for permission to release his name. The other passenger had to leave the scene before first responders arrived because he was late for work.
Well, that guy sounded very composed and calm throughout the situation, did he not?
Yeah, they both did. Actually, they both looked pretty calm. I mean, obviously you could tell they were stressed with the situation, but they both handled it very well.
Wouldn't that have been something if dispatch would have said, hey, thanks for your help, but I got some bad news for you. If you drop this bus under 55 miles an hour.
Oh, my gosh. That's the stupidest plot line ever.
If this bus slows down.
Pop quiz, hotshot.
Yeah, beyond 55, you guys are all going to blow up. That would have been a bad. I think you'd chalk that up to bad timing.
A 39-year-old man's facing federal charges after officials say he exposed himself and committed a lewd act in front of fellow passengers during a flight to Boston. He was flying from Abu Dhabi Monday when he made unwanted sexual advances toward a female passenger, touching her hair and taking photos without her permission.
What do you think of that? You like that?
No.
Huh?
A crew member intervened, forcing him back to his seat, but later in the flight, 2 male passengers seated nearby noticed him beating it under a blanket with his genitals, sometimes fully exposed.
Yeah,
Peekaboo.
You like that. You know you do.
Peekaboo. After cruising for catastrophe at 30,000 feet, he's facing fines and possible incarceration for 90 days, which is less time than I think I'd take scrubbing those seats if I was going to sit there. Pretty gross.
Yeah, that's gross behavior.
They didn't say how far he got, like if he completed or what.
Jesus.
Completed the process?
Yucky.
And made a football move?
Rhyming.
Yeah, he clearly made a football move there. A 35-year-old man who recorded video of women inside a locker room was sentenced to jail and probation. He was arrested in May last year after being accused of recording female employees changing inside a hospital locker room. An employee noticed a phone propped up next to a shoe, which had been recording her and 2 others as they changed. After security was contacted, it was determined the phone belonged to him. I don't know how to put it. I'm just a sad human being, he reportedly said.
Is that what he said?
He confronted two of the women, demanding his phone back before police arrived.
I'm just a sad sumbitch.
Hey, I'm a sick effer.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Trying to
By
go
the way,
the pity route.
get me my phone back.
So he didn't even have one of those fancy spy cameras. He was just had his phone sitting there recording.
Yeah, he was just.
What's a spy camera?
Well, like one of those ones that people will hide in like the bathroom or the shower.
Toilet. They're about the size of a nipple.
Yeah, they're small.
Yeah. Oh no,
pinhole cameras.
He's just going old school.
Like
not all perverts are high tech people, Dana.
Man, who knows? It was maybe it was just a last second decision. I'm going for it right this second. That's all I got.
You know what, Ashley? Maybe you'd help out here this morning. Maybe you'd appease some of these perverts who are so curious about what's going on in the women's locker room. Just tell us what goes on in there, and then maybe we can keep a few of these pervs from coming in and recording everything. Is there anything going on in there that we should know about?
No, absolutely nothing. We don't have fun. We don't do anything together. We're not taking showers together. We're not having pillow fights.
But is it like in the movies, once you're done showering, do all of you have long, drawn-out conversation while completely in the nude?
No, we get dressed so fast.
What, don't you like honk each other's boobs to test perkiness and stuff like that, like in the movies?
Only sometimes, Josh. That's
Fondle
for
each other?
Tuesdays.
So you're saying more or less nothing to see here. Quit breaking into the ladies' John because we're not doing anything in there that you need to know about.
Yep. You probably don't want to see what we're doing in there.
Is it like men's locker rooms where the old folks just strut around naked? Do the old ladies do that like the men do in the men's locker room?
I was going to mention that. No, they don't. I don't know what, I don't think women ever have become, even the older women, they're still not, fully comfortable being completely nude, even around other women.
That was a rude awakening when I was a junior high kid and we used to go to the Y.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I couldn't believe how much time these grown men would spend strolling around absolutely D-swinging.
Mm-hmm. And the positions they'd put themselves in.
Oh, yeah, like foot up on the bench, drying off, balls hanging down to their knees.
Somebody should warn you about that.
And then when I saw one of my best friend's dads doing it, that was tough news to break to that buddy of mine. Because at that point, we were high school age. And we already,
he wasn't aware. Huh?
He was not aware.
Been to the gym with
and
Dad.
we had, by that point, we had many conversations about the older guys in the locker room at the Y just parading their dongs around for a half hour. So we were well aware of it, and then we went to the Y in high school, and from across the locker room, I see one of my best friend's dads doing that D-swinging routine, talking to everybody, arms crossed in front of his naked chest. Did you see the Twins game last night? Oh, no, that's that's Mr. Yo-Yo. That's one of my friend's dads. And then I went to school the next day, and I had to break that news to my buddy. I had to say, your dad's one of them dong swingers. He was really embarrassed. He was devastated. He said, no, he isn't. I said, yeah. He was jaw-jacking with guys for 20 minutes about the Twins game with his bag hanging out.
Were you guys always told by the girls when, elementary school, middle school, that their bathrooms were just lavish and they had, a couch and stuff like that in there?
Yeah, I do. That happened in our school, too.
They are very nice, and they're still nice to this day. We get, I went to the bathroom the other day, and there was a little dish of butterscotch candies in there for us.
What?
Yeah, being a woman rocks.
So then there are things going on in there that we need to know about.
You didn't tell us about the butterscotch.
We just get that treatment at the strip club. You could get a pack of gum, Jolly Rancher.
The bathroom attendant.
Like yeah.
One night at the Boom Boom Room, I ate my weight in Starburst from going into the men's room. My God, it was the tropical kind, Josh, the regular kind. I ate my weight in Starburst. The strippers were wondering why I'm burping up Budweiser and strawberry. It was just, but you got to have some base. When you're out drinking, right, Josh?
That's probably the smart thing to do.
Got to have a base.
A 32-year-old domestic helper in India got fed up with being scolded by her employer, so she decided to retaliate, and it involved pee. In an act of revenge, the employee of 8 years mixed her urine into dough used for making flatbread.
Wait a minute.
And the family reportedly got sick afterward. Since the helper was the one making all the meals, they got suspicious. So the family set up a hidden camera in the kitchen and were stunned by what they saw. A 44-second clip caught her in the act, leaking into the leftovers. After witnessing the flatbread becoming flat-out gross last Monday, the family went to police. A police spokesperson said the helper first denied everything, but confessed when confronted with the footage.
She's peeing in the food just because she's disgruntled?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
She reportedly said she did it out of revenge because she was always being scolded for minor mistakes and she couldn't take it anymore.
Oh, for God's sake.
She could face up to 2 years in jail, a fine, or both.
That's really bad.
I wonder what's going on with her pee where it's making people sick.
Well,
Maybe she somehow saved her own life. The doctors are going to step in and say, you got to get this thing fixed up.
what a sick sumbitch.
A New York City's landlord is making headlines after getting slapped with a $1,000 fine for what was supposedly the smell of animal waste. But he says it's all just a big misunderstanding. The real culprit, he claims, is a crop-dusted atomic fart. And he's not about to pay for that.
Oh, what?
He got hit with a fine from the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene because of an inspector said the place smelled like animal waste. But the landlord's crying foul, saying the only thing that stinks is the summons itself. This is a fart complaint, he said, adding that the health inspector got crop dusted by a tenant. The place doesn't stink normally. Turns out it was the whole area that smelled, not the landlord, dealing with the bad butt smell. Neighbors chimed in, saying the neighborhood did smell like crap for a few days, but the smell's long gone. The fine claimed there was animal waste on the property, which the landlord and even tenants deny.
So it was just, who farted kind of a situation.
Yeah.
Who farted?
And the guy thought, hey, there must be something going on here. No way some human did that.
Dang.
Sometimes you just got to let it go. But one 26-year-old woman in Australia couldn't, and it led to her being wedged upside down between some big rocks for 7 hours. Earlier this month, she was walking with friends and accidentally dropped her phone between some giant boulders. As she unwisely tried to retrieve it, she slipped face first into a 10-foot crevice between two large boulders, so deep her friends were unable to reach her.
Oh, did she have to eat her own hand or anything like that to survive?
Nothing like that. Maybe in hour 8 she would have, but they got her after 7.
That's so scary.
This is like Ashley digging in the porta potty for her vape or whatever. When rescuers arrived, they could only see the feet sticking out of a 4-inch gap. I don't know why it's funnier that she went face first, but to me it
does
is.
make it funnier.
Just ass over apple cart.
And she was wedged in tight. They couldn't just pull her out. They worked carefully for hours, removing rocks while making sure none fell on her. 6 large boulders had to be moved away before they could even touch her feet. The last boulder, weighing about 1,100 pounds, required a winch to shift it. After several hours of careful work, she was finally freed. Luckily, she walked away with only minor scratches and bruises, though her phone remained stuck between the rocks.
Go back down there and get it. What could go wrong?
It's not worth it. What are you doing?
Friends
Wait a minute. You went into a porta potty to get your vape rod. You went into the toilet.
Oh, no, this is way scary.
You went into the tank.
Way scarier. This is one of my biggest fears. Like when I watch movies or see videos of people, is it like spelunking? Is that when they go through like really thin crevices?
I don't know. All I'm
swimming
saying,
through caves and
is I'd rather be between two rocks than in campground diarrhea.
It's the worst kind of diarrhea.
I don't think you have any room to speak here.
Thankfully, I was stopped before my hand went in.
Oh, you didn't actually retrieve it.
No, I was scolded like a child, which was good. I needed to be.
Friends of a longtime surfer and travel guide said she died doing what she loved, which, based on how she died, would mean she loved being impaled by a swordfish off the coast of Indonesia.
Oh, no.
The 36-year-old Italian surfer was struck in the chest by the swordfish while surfing west of Sumatra in the Indian Ocean. 2 witnesses reportedly tried to provide first aid, but sadly, she couldn't be saved.
Dude, what got her in the chest?
A swordfish.
A sword damn fish, huh?
We believe she died doing what she loved, in a place she loved, her friends and coworkers posted on Instagram.
Yeah.
Although swordfish murderers are extremely rare, officials say surfing-related deaths are not uncommon in Indonesia.
Yeah, that's a terrible way to go.
A group of numbskulls in India who lured a leopard over for some pictures regretted it instantly when the big cat went leopard on the social media like seekers. Several people fired up their smartphones when they noticed the leopard in some nearby woods. Some of the group called the wild animal to come closer. It only took a few moments for the leopard to give them what they wanted, and what they got was a quick lesson on the circle of life as the predator charged full speed toward them as they stopped laughing and started screaming.
Oh, did he eat them up?
No, but it whooped the ass of one of them.
Oh.
There was a guy that recorded the leopard chasing a different guy, sprinting back to the group, mauling him moments later before others were able to scare the beast away. 3 people were injured. Authorities have warned visitors to stay out of the woods and be cautious in the nearby park due to the dangerous wildlife in the area.
You ever see the video of the 2 guys on a moped riding through the jungle, and one guy's on the front, one's on the back, and suddenly a friggin' tiger or something comes shooting out of the woods, and it just about got a piece of that poor bastard on the back of that moped. But he just had enough CCs to get her out the way of that. It's a fun video. It's out there summers.
German police raided a pizzeria after learning the most popular pizza came with a side of cocaine. Suspicious food inspectors alerted cops in Dusseldorf after noticing the buzz around its special item. Item number 40 is what it was called on the menu. A police spokesperson called it one of the best-selling pizzas without revealing the price of the Coke on the side special. When cops confronted the 36-year-old manager, he threw a bag of drugs out of his apartment window, which unfortunately for him, fell right into the arms of the police officers below. In total, the stash contained 3.5 pounds of coke, 14.1 ounces of cannabis, and about $300,000 in cash. And here in the States, Florida authorities also found themselves dealing with an unexpected pairing of Italian cuisine and illicit substances, but this time with a side of marinara that may have ended a marriage. A 40-year-old Florida man's behind bars after being charged with spaghetti a la battery, they joked. Police say the man and his wife were arguing Sunday evening about his abuse of alcohol when the dispute turned violent. He appeared to be intoxicated, became irate, and threw a bowl of spaghetti at his spouse of 9 years. The noodles struck the 44-year-old on the front of her body, and when officers arrived, they found the victim covered in sauce. Due to his lengthy criminal history, he was charged with an enhanced felony battery count. His rap sheet spans 20 years and includes 10 cocaine possession convictions, as well as other drug and firearm charges.
The wife was tired of his drinking, huh?
Yeah, she got sick of it.
It reminds me of that line from the movie Arthur, where his fiancée says, "A real woman could get you to quit drinking." And Arthur says, "She'd have to be a real big woman."
Daenerys Targaryen on Game of Thrones. Emilia Clarke is 38 today. Ryan Reynolds, 48. Weird Al.
Josh, that Emilia Clarke, when she got naked on that sword fighting show, my God, did people come uncorked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people still bring it up.
Yep.
She's one spicy number.
When she got naked, the earth stopped spinning there for a little while, it seemed. That's all anyone wanted to talk about.
Weird Al is 65.
Is that right? Did you get your tickets to his big show yet?
Not quite yet. I'll be there, though. I've only seen him the one time. I'd like to see him again.
I was there when you saw him the one time.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I thought I was a fan until I went to the Weird Al show and realized I know nothing. I didn't know the movements we were supposed to do, the call and response.
I knew a couple of the dances.
I had no idea. Now I know. I'll be prepared this time. Happy 30th to Taylor from his very proud father, Granddaddy O Jesus. And that's 93X News.
The Minnesota Vikings interview.
Don't worry about the horse being blind, just load the wagon.
Touchdown! Vikings win it!
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The strike, 1 pitch to Pedro Guerrero. Swung on and missed. And the crowd now with more emotion following every pitch. Fernando ready, and the strike 2 pitch is hit back to the box, dribbling to second. Samuel on the bag, throws to first, double play. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter at 10:17 in the evening of June the 29th, 1990. If you have a sombrero, throw it to the sky.
Yeah, Fernando Valenzuela has died, and we are all pretty bummed out by hearing about it. But we'll get to that in a little bit. We need to go in a different direction right from the get-go. I'll tell you, if you stopped by our program this morning for unmitigated masculinity, today is your day, and that statement has nothing to do with Randy Shaver or Brad Ryder, although we do welcome them to the show. You guys are manly to a point.
What?
Okay.
To a point.
Yeah.
The both of you do too much whining on this program, I think.
Oh, my God.
You're manly to a point.
He's whining there.
That is much more Brad than it ever is me.
You're right, Brad. I heard it. I heard it.
God.
What's going on here is we're about to be Eiffel Towered by a couple of straight up alphas. At 8 o'clock this morning, coming up in 22 minutes, something like that, Marcus Foligno is going to give us a telephone call. Marcus Foligno from the Minnesota Wild, undefeated in regulation, the Minnesota Wild. Right now, it's the big, bad, intimidating Andrew DePaola, long snapper for the Minnesota Vikings. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, guys.
Are you an alpha?
Am I a what?
Alpha.
An alpha?
Yeah.
Like an alpha male?
See, I don't really get...
Well, now the kids say Sigma.
Oh, my
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Sigma is the thing.
So I just learned about this myself. Can you explain this? What's the story?
Well, an alpha, sure, like you're a manly man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but a Sigma is even higher than that?
A Sigma is like a manly, the way I understand it, he's like a Fonzie. He's a manly man, but he just doesn't play by the rules.
Oh, damn.
He's kind of an outsider. He's cool.
Okay, I'm new to this language as well. I was just curious if you spoke it, Andrew. You've never heard any of this lingo coming your way?
No, I cannot say that I have.
It takes some getting used to.
If your kids were a little older, you'd know things like Skibbity, Ohio Riz, things like that. The Rizzler, a degree from Rizzle University.
I'm so glad I don't know what you're talking about.
But he's got 4 kids. He's not an alpha at home. I can tell you that.
Are you not running things? I see Brad Ryder wants to be cute about it. He doesn't think you're running the show, Andrew.
We're just hanging on over there. You know?
But soon enough, like Josh is saying, those kids will hit those teenage years, and then you'll know all the hot.
Oh, man.
Right, Randy Shaver? Did you know all the hot YouTube videos and all the cool language and whatnot?
Well, I know the language. At least I heard the language during that time period.
Right.
What's your drip today, Nick?
My drip?
Yeah.
See, I know what that means. I've heard that.
Do?
That's actually kind of an outdated one, isn't it?
Right.
Drip.
At this point, yeah.
I'm wearing I'm wearing the typical radio outfit, a hat over an unwashed body. A hat, a hooded sweatshirt, dirty jeans over an unwashed body. That's my drip. Josh keeps us entertained by teaching us these new slang terms and whatnot. Andrew DePaola, by damn, thanks for joining us. I know we've had a couple 3 weeks in a row where you've had to make an exception to your regular routine. What would you normally be doing on a Thursday night? See, now you got to play football on Thursday night this week. What's your normal Thursday night like?
Thursday night. Thursday's like our longer day, so I get home kind of late, and then I just kind of spend as much time as I can with the kids, helping either get them fed or get them ready for bed or put them down.
There isn't a regular Thursday television show? Like you and the wife always watch Cheers on Thursday night? Or I don't know what's current. What else would there be?
No, we don't break out the Cheers or the Grey's Anatomy or anything like that.
Yeah, not a regular gimmick you and the wife go through. All right. What do you think about these short weeks? Kind of a pain in the ass, right?
You know, they have their positives and negatives. You know, they're a pain as far as like recovery goes and having to play 4 days after you just played another game. But at the same time, you know, it's kind of nice because there's not like a whole ton of preparation going in. It's kind of just like skill on skill, roll the ball out and let's see who wins sort of thing. So, and then you get like a long weekend. I mean, I know you're playing off shorter rest, but you know, you get a nice little long weekend. You know, all in all, I think I don't like them. I'm against them, but I try to take the positives with them.
Well, I suppose any other gig. How many times have we received a text message here at the radio station, Josh, when we've talked about work, and we hear someone say, I just want to work. What was my uncle used to say this too.
220s?
A 40-hour work week. I'd rather just work 2 20s and get it over with, right?
Yeah.
So, there's something to be said about getting all this out of the way. Sure, it's a short week. You got a lot to do in a short period of time, but once you're done, and you get some time to yourself. Got something to be said about that.
Exactly.
We mentioned we got Marcus Foligno is going to join us once you have to go, Andrew, of the Minnesota Wild. Have you met any hockey players here in town since you came to Minnesota?
No, I've never met a hockey player.
So we know you go to Twins games. Have you gone to a Wild game since you've been here?
I have. I think I've gone to 2, maybe, just 2.
Did they ask you to do the Let's Play Hockey gimmick yet?
No.
You know what I'm talking about or not?
No.
You're better off for it.
State of hockey, my ass. What do you mean, Brad Ryder? Why is he better off?
No, I'm just teasing.
Oh, well, they give, they usually bring in, a lot of times it's a Viking or a Twin or what's the other club in town? Timberwolves, and they hand them a live mic right before the puck drop, and you get to do the ceremonial Let's Play Hockey, and the crowd goes crazy. Does that sound? Would you be interested in something like that?
Sure, I guess.
Yeah, and they hand you $50,000.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
That's new.
With a bag, like I got out of a cartoon, a bag with a big money sign on it.
But you have to press a red button, and somewhere around the world, someone dies once you hit it. That's how you get that $50,000.
Oh, my God.
Randy, did you ever do the Let's Play Hockey, Randy?
I did it with, I want to say I did it with Julie and Bell. I think we all three were together one night.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You get a
So
good...
I've done it before, yeah.
You get a cheap pop out of it?
Cheap pop, yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Well, the best was when Adrian Peterson managed to mess it up.
What did he say?
He gets up there and he goes, "All right, everybody, you ready? It's time to play hockey."
Oh, my God.
Oh, instead of Let's Play Hockey.
Yeah, he needed to butcher too bad, but you could tell after he said, like, "It's time," you realize he didn't know what to do next. He goes, "To play hockey."
Oh, my God.
There's like a pause there when you realize you just
It's one sentence.
It's kind of like when Ric Flair would get lost in a promo.
Yes, exactly.
It's kind of improvising. All right, yeah, Thursday night football. Well, before we talk about that, what the hell happened in that Detroit game, Andrew? We need answers here.
Hey, if you're looking for answers, I'm the wrong guy to ask.
Well, I mean, that's a tough club, Detroit.
Yeah, they're good.
Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder have been talking up and down the last few days about how you are playing in the best division in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I think that game showed not just us but everybody how close these games actually are. How little mistakes that we kind of could have gotten away with against other teams. You're not getting away with them against these good teams. So it was good. It's a little bit of a wake up call. It's kind of showing us how we need to lock in, and sometimes you need to get knocked on your butt to get a little. Like I said, wake-up call. So,
sure.
It's all good. We'll learn from it, move on. Got the Rams tomorrow.
I've heard that statement before. Sometimes it makes a team better in the long run to take a shot to the pills, and you get better for it. So, yeah. Did you get a dose of that wacky ass Dan Campbell that he said?
I like him.
Is he just barking the whole time, just nonsense?
I kind of looked over a couple times and saw him he was pretty animated. I don't know what he was saying. I'm sure he was saying nothing but nice pleasantries to everybody. But yeah, he was getting into it.
Was he before he became a head coach? Was he an offensive line coach? Was that his thing?
He was
I thought he was a tight ends coach.
Oh,
tight end, yeah.
Yeah, he's a character. I didn't know if maybe he was, Are there coaches out there that'll, flat out jaw jack with the players, or do they rise above that 9 times out of 10?
You'd be very surprised.
Yeah?
Really?
Like they'll straight up say, "Hey, number 42, that's your number, right, Andrew?"
42, yeah, that's me.
42, get the lead out of your ass or something like that, A head coach will say those things. I mean, I know they used to. I didn't know if today it was more of a, controlled atmosphere.
They don't say anything to me, It's but other players, yeah, they will.
Want to name any names?
Or are there certain coaches that are just kind of known for that? They're going to chirp at you if you're over next to their sideline?
I bet you friggin' Harbaugh never shuts his gap. Yeah, are there coaches?
You guys have to remember the infamous one, here with Adam and Belichick.
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, well, they were kind of going back and forth. That's right.
Yeah.
Who's Adam?
Thielen.
Oh, Thielen, okay. No, I don't know this story.
Yeah, I guess I forget how many years ago it was, but Vikings were playing the Patriots, and Adam was saying something. I don't think he was saying it to Bill, but I think Bill said something to him like, shut up or get back on your sideline or something, and then they just started going at it.
See, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I hope that Thielen gave him, what for?
Oh, it looked like he did. I have no idea what they said, but yeah, definitely looked like.
Thielen was animated. If you've seen the video, yeah, he was animated.
Okay, I got to look this up. Did you know about this, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder?
Yeah, I remember it vaguely.
It sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah. You see that, I mean, when guys get tackled into somebody else's sideline, you see the, coaches and other players congregate around that player.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
There's a lot of that going on there.
Oh,
Why is it the worst?
Yeah, when you end up getting chucked into the opposing club's sideline, they take some shots at you, huh?
They do some things. There's some things. It used to be like, I don't know if you all remember, like the bottom of the pile whenever there was a dog pile for a football or something.
Sure,
you don't want to be on the bottom of the pile. Now it's you don't want to get tackled out of bounds.
Yeah.
On the other team's sideline. That's like, that's the real one.
Pay attention to that next time you see that guy on video.
They mouth off, they kick you in the ass a little bit.
Oh, yeah, we've heard worse.
2 years ago, we were playing the Cowboys, and I made a tackle kind of out of bounds on their sideline. It was more like throwing his shoulder into my chest, and I went flying, but it was on their sideline. And I'm like midair, like, oh, I know what's about to happen. Like, I'm just going to get verbally destroyed. And I hit the ground, and I'm sitting there on my knees, and I'm just hearing, I learned some new cuss words that day. Like, I didn't know these things could come out of someone's mouth. And it's funny because then their special teams coach, who like I know and I've known him for many years, we have a good relationship. He like came over and was like picking me up. He was like, "Dude, get the F out of here." He was like almost like protecting me, like, "You need to go now."
It's like in the movies where someone walks into the wrong bar. That
I love it. I like to hear that, though. I like to hear that there's still some nastiness out there.
Because what they're trying to do, they're trying to egg you into shoving somebody and then getting a penalty or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like the nastiness. I like the foul language. I like that idea that, hey, you're on the other club. You find your way over to my side of the field, and I'm going to kick you in the ass. Sometimes I gripe on this program about how, I don't know, it feels like rivalries aren't what they used to be, and that battlefield mentality isn't what it used to be. But so I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying hearing that if you go to the other club's sideline, they're going to step on your nuts for you if you're not careful.
Yeah, well, you might not like now that, every team got a memo from the league saying they're going to start cracking down on that stuff. So the team's got to start playing nice, especially when other players are on their opposing sideline.
You got an email, huh?
We did. Yeah, I don't know if but the Niners, Drake Greenlaw, he like pushed a player. So he wasn't even involved he wasn't even dressed. And he pushed another player and got into an altercation. He got fined like $15K. Oh, so now every team got a memo from the league saying like, we're going to start dishing out fines and flags and all that stuff.
Settle the hell down, everybody. By the way, did we ever tell Depot that we found that video of his college game?
I don't know if we did. We posted it a long time ago.
Remember a few weeks ago, Depot, we asked you, like, what's the hardest you ever got knocked on your ass? And you talked about that blocked kick or blocked punt from when you were playing in New Jersey there at Rutgers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You told us a story when a guy cleaned you out on the college ball field. Josh found the video on YouTube.
A listener sent it to us.
Or a listener sent the video. So we got video of it. Do you want us to put that on our website?
So good. Yeah, sure. I'd love to reminisce times when I can barely remember the hit. So, yeah, why not?
Yeah, when you told us the story, it was such a great story. A listener went and found the video. So we watched it, and it was my damn. You weren't kidding.
Yeah, he got you.
It was a good hit, huh?
Yeah, he got a hold of you.
Yeah, he did.
So there you go. Next stop, Los Angeles. Is that your kind of town, Depot? L.A. Here comes Andrew. You're rolling down Sunset Boulevard. You do a tour of O.J.'s house or whatever they do in L.A. Is that your scene? Are you excited to go to L.A.?
Oh, good Lord, no.
Not your thing?
No. I think parts of L.A. are cool, but like I don't want to live or spend too much time there.
Yeah, I don't know. What about the rest of you? I've never been. I've just been to the airport.
Never want to go.
I've just been there with the Wolves. And
Josh, I know you didn't like it.
I was a little disappointed. I have a friend. Well, my sister lives there, and prior to that, I have a friend that lived there, and I visited them a few times and stayed at their place. And it was, like where they were at was okay. I think it's called La Jolla, and some of the beaches are nice if you're into that. But yeah, sure. LA itself. I don't get it. Mm-hmm. We went down to Hollywood Boulevard. Don't understand the appeal.
Smells like pee.
We went through. It does. We went to.
Did you go to OJ's place?
No, we didn't go to OJ's place. We went to Beverly Hills, and I thought, well, this is going to be something, and that was disappointing to me, too. I didn't really dig it.
Los Angeles. Yes, Randy Shaver.
I have a question for Andrew.
He's got to get going. Make it quick, Randy.
I know he does. Is there any buzz about Justin Jefferson and the photo shoot with Anthony Edwards inside the Vikings facility?
Not amongst the players.
Really?
I haven't really heard anybody talking about it too much. Maybe because it's a short week, but I know we've all seen it because it's been all over social media. It's really a really cool photo shoot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They look cute.
I can't wait to hear some like behind the scenes stuff, like with him and Ant, and like what they talked about and like all that. I know like the one conversation about can basketball players play football, can football players play basketball. I think that's kind of like the funny one, but it'll be interesting to hear kind of like the little side combos.
Can basketball players play special teams in the NFL? Hell no. Hell no.
Hell no.
Andrew, good luck in Los Angeles. And again, thank you for spending time with us.
As always, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Andrew.
It's a big game on Thursday. It's Andrew DePaola versus the Rams. Marcus Foligno going to be joining us here in a few minutes.
Wow, this is a blockbuster day.
Isn't that something, Randy Shaver? You love this stuff. You love this stuff.
I just think that this radio station's come a long way.
You're a jock sniffer.
Not necessarily, but I think the conversations are always interesting and fun, and it's just kind of fun to have two in one day.
Our conversation, by the way, with Andrew brought to you by Luther Kia of Bloomington. So let's try to cover as much as we can before market. Okay, sure. I was at the Iron Maiden show last night. I didn't see a damn thing.
You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything.
No.
They lose the opener in Los Angeles. They're always slow starters. That's something that makes me feel better. I mean, Christ, there's a long season ahead of them.
Terrible second quarter.
I heard it was not that great. Yeah,
they just didn't play. They're defensively. I don't know what the deal was. If they were just out of sorts or they just tried too hard or what. But they were late getting back on fast breaks. They were beaten to the basket on the offensive board way too much. There's just a lot of things that needs to get cleaned up because the Lakers came to play last night and they took it to them early, and then kind of like the way NBA games go, they held on to finish it off too, but it was not a good show. Not a good showing for the Wolves last time.
Okay.
Yeah, Anthony Davis was very, very good.
Yes, he was.
The entire night, he was offense, defense, everything. He was very good.
We did listen to a little bit of the game on the radio when we left the Maiden show because it was a late game out there in L.A. Alan Horton and Jim Peterson doing the thing last night on the radio, and they were terrific together. And they mentioned that Anthony Davis 36 points, blankety blank rebound, blocking shots. And I think he only had one foul on the night. That's impressive.
Yeah, and Mike Conley was not good at all.
No,
he was.
What?
He was terrible.
What happened with Mike Conley Jr.?
He was 1 for 7, 0 for 5 on threes. I think he was minus 20 or minus 22, something like that. He was not good last night.
Well, give the guy a break. I can't believe that
it's one game, like you said. I mean, they'll be fine.
Mike Conley Jr. can have a bad game now and again.
And of course, the big news last night was LeBron and Bronny on the court.
See, I disagree, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, that was big news in L.A. for sure.
Yeah.
So. But they didn't play very long. 3 minutes.
Two minutes and 30 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
And the kid didn't do a damn thing.
No.
Well, he took a good shot.
To no one's surprise.
Oh, he took a good shot.
He was a minus 6 in 2 minutes, and they got him off the floor.
That's adorable that he took a good shot.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Had one rebound.
So he made that shot then, right?
No,
he didn't.
When we were having this conversation yesterday, Randy Shaver was just over the moon, anticipating the LeBron and Bronny thing, and I was taking a massive dump all over it because I feel bad for the kid because he doesn't belong in the NBA. The telephone is ringing. It didn't dawn on me till after the show. You have sons, I don't. So I think, Randy, you're kind of a sucker for those heartfelt father-son moments.
I just think it's. We may never see anything like it again. I mean, it's one thing to play baseball.
I don't know. Ant's got a lot of babies, I hear.
It's one thing to play baseball. It's another thing to play a game that's as physically demanding when you're playing the game, like basketball in the NBA. So to have a father and son on the court at the same time together at that level, that's pretty impressive.
Oh, damn. They play at Sacramento tomorrow night. What else? The passing of Fernando Valenzuela is very sad. We talked a couple weeks about how we had heard he wasn't in good health, and the man died last night.
Yeah.
One of the greats of all time.
63, too.
Too young.
Wow. Way too young.
You heard audio there when we started our sports break of his no-hitter in 1990. 1981 was the year of Fernando Mania. If you guys can help me out, he was Rookie of the Year. He won the Cy Young, and what am I missing? Was that it? I mean, not that that's nothing.
I think they won the World Series.
That's right. Yeah. And the Dodgers won the World Series in his rookie year. And
it's the last time the Dodgers and Yankees faced each other in the World Series.
Yes.
43 years ago.
Yes.
And the matchup is, of course, happening starting Friday.
Kind of interesting in a way that here we are on the verge.
It's kind of spooky.
Yes, it's kind of spooky that we're on the verge of a Dodgers-Yankees World Series, and one of the characters from the last time they played in the World Series has just passed. It's eerie. But Fernando was just a straight-up pimp and a very likable guy.
Yep.
And it always sucks when guys like that check
way
out
too young
so soon. The Pigs, of course, won last night in Florida. And we're trying to get Marcus Foligno on the telephone.
He's probably on the golf course.
You think or are they still drinking? Or I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, we'll find out because Marcus is supposed to be with us shortly. Oh, one more Wolves note. Rudy Gobert signed some kind of an extension. Is everyone cool with that?
3-year extension.
Is that okay with everybody?
Well,
I think okay is probably the way I would put it. I mean,
I love what Rudy did last year. If he can if he can repeat that for the next 3-4 years, I'm completely cool with it.
I think they probably went all in with him. Obviously giving up all the draft picks and then trading Carl. So if you're gonna sink or swim with him, then go ahead and extend him, I guess.
Josh earlier was saying that's a lot of money. See, personally, I don't follow the money at all. In professional sports, it's gotten so out of hand that I don't know what is a lot anymore and what is too little. So, what was it? 3 years and 100?
110, something like that.
Anyone got a problem with the money?
I mean, it's $33 million a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Carl, for context, Carl was making about $46 million a year. So, and that's what Edwards is going to make when he has to resign.
Is that something or what? See, again, I so rarely have these conversations, so rarely pay attention at all to what the guys are making that when it's said out loud, I'm like I'm a rookie. What?
There's some
Carl was making $46 million a year?
There's some speculation that after this new TV deal is signed, that there may be a $100 million a year player at some point during that new TV deal.
A hockey player?
Yeah.
A year.
Oh, my gosh.
How can you question any of it the way things have been? You can't question any of it. Meaning question the possibility of it.
Right.
Okay, here's according to one listener says the extension for Rudy Gobert saves them money. He took a pay cut.
Wow.
Okay, another listener, Catfishing Jesus. Again, he's a guy I reference a lot on this program when we're talking Timberwolves because he's a big Timberwolves fan and he knows things. He says this deal will help the Wolves spend some money on Nas. So Rudy left some money on the table.
Well, Nas
being a team guy,
year, right?
I don't know.
I thought they signed Nas last year kind of a team-friendly deal, like a 3-year deal or something like that.
Yeah,
I think.
More and more people are saying he actually took a pay cut. He
That's
was
great.
due to make $46 million a year.
Duh.
That's quite the pay cut.
That is great.
The top salary for the league this year, I just looked it up. Steph Curry's making just shy of $60 million.
Yeah, Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And by the way, one more note on the Timberwolves. Catfishing Jesus sent me this text. He said, "Are you going to the home opener on Saturday?" Which I am. Jamison Battle plays with the Toronto Raptors. I got to see that. Local kid, right?
Right.
Played for the Golden Gophers and he transferred over to Ohio State. Jamison Battle playing with the Toronto Raptors. That's interesting. Joining us now on the telephone from the Minnesota Wild is Marcus Foligno playing for a club that's undefeated in regulation. Who the hell do you guys think you are, Marcus? What's going on out there?
It's been a good start. We're pumped. It's been a good start for the road trip too, and yeah, we're enjoying it. We're doing all the good little things right now, and we're getting rewarded for it. We're getting some good goaltending too. Like Gustin City's been playing great. It's been fun so far. Winning is a lot of fun.
You guys went out and you just stomped the guts out of the defending champions last night in their friggin' rink. It was their rink, their ice, their effing town. And you just...
Yeah, it was a good game. I mean, we played really solid, but that's a good team. We learned a lot from them last night. They just... Although the score was 5-1, I mean, they play the same way the whole time. You can see why they can beat teams in 7 games. So that was a big win. I think just like a confidence boost and a good measuring stick for our club. So it was guys were revved up last night.
And do you realize this? We read about this a couple days ago. Like you're right now you're in the mix with only 4 or 5 other clubs who have been this deep into a season and they've never trailed in regulation. Is that what we heard? Can you guys help me out? It was a day or 2 ago.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
I think this year we have not trailed a game. We've always scored the opening goal and kept it going. I think Seattle was one of our losses where we had 2-goal lead or whatever, and we would like that game back because we let them back in. But I think Winnipeg was the other one too, where we scored first. So that's something that's different than last season.
Yeah, getting on the board first.
Yeah.
It can be huge.
It helps out a lot. So
tell us about the chain. What is this? People are texting in saying you got the chain last night. Is that a thing, or is that the liquor talking?
It's just given out to like kind of the player of the game that doesn't necessarily have to put up all the points. It's more the guy that we came up with a thing. Our theme this year has kind of been doing it the hard way, choosing your hard. You know, it's hard to win this league, but it's also hard to lose in this league. So choosing your hard. So we came up with something that's pretty hard, and that's a chain. Chain is pretty hard. So I think Ryan Hartman even spray painted the whole thing in his garage and stuff and made it up. So kudos to him for doing that. But it's just given to the guy who grinds and doesn't break and does block shots, things like that. Where
like the hard on of the game
to the guy. Yeah. Exactly.
You're tonight's hard on.
Is this like a?
Yeah, it's good to get that from time to time.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm familiar with it. Not as familiar as I used to be. Randy Shaver, what did you say?
I said, is this like a Kirko chains kind of a thing where you put it on and dance around?
Kirk Cousins thing. I know we were thinking about that too. We're like, this is probably going to get low. Kirk Cousins looked at it, but. No, it's not. It's not as nice of a chain as what Kirk was rocking.
Okay,
that looked expensive.
We got no Justin Jefferson putting a chain around our neck. I would not give that back to him.
Well, congratulations on getting that chain from last night's win. Yeah, you mentioned Vikings. We just had a Viking on the air. Long snapper Andrew DePaola joins us every week on the program, every week. We asked him if he'd met any hockey players in town since he started playing for the Vikings. He said no. Are you familiar with any of the Minnesota Vikings?
We got to meet a couple of the guys last year. I'm blanking on his name right now. the tight end.
Hawkinson.
TJ Hawkinson?
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's a beauty. He's got the hair and everything too. So they came to a couple of games, and I know in the playoffs too. They showed up to 2 years ago. So, but other than that, we don't really. We get a little bit more with the Twins more than the Vikes right now.
Mm-hmm. You know, during the fall and winter, you football and hockey players are fairly busy, where the baseball players don't have a hell of a lot to do, unless, of course, they're playing in the World Series.
Especially this time of year for Twins.
A lot of those Twins players come when they come in for Twins Fest in January, where they come down to your games, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but hey, the Vikes
get a chance to go right back at it tomorrow.
Yeah,
you loss. But it was a good game.
You got a game tomorrow night, too, in Tampa Bay. So what do you do?
Yeah.
Check your fantasy points at the end of the night or what?
For our football league?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How competitive are you on that?
Me and Declan Chisholm just had a hell of a week. I think we both put up over 160. So that was a tough one, and I beat him. We came out on top, so that was a huge one.
Who's your marquee player? Who's the fantasy football player that you would never trade?
See, this is the best part. I was first overall pick in our league this year, and I chose McCaffrey.
No.
Yeah. So I was just like,
I hope he took Jordan Mason as a handcuff.
No. So the best part is Ryan Hartman out GM'd me that week, and he snatched Jordan Mason, knowing I would be well handcuffed if McCaffrey wasn't playing. Lost the first week due to Hartman doing that old little
the wily move.
Dirty on me on the GM front of it. But
I love that. He out-GM'd me.
He out-GM'd me. I learned a lesson, but I got better. We're 500 ball.
All right.
I'm at right now. 3-4 right now in our league.
How was the Halloween party, Marcus Foligno? We saw some great pictures of Marc-Andre Fleury as friggin' what the hell's the name again? McLovin.
That was unbelievable.
That was legendary. How
He came around the corner. Spurgeon hosted the party, which was awesome, but he came around the corner downstairs in the basement, and everyone would just start dying laughing. We're like, oh my God. Like I just thought that Superbad, the movie, was now in our basement. Like it was.
You were living inside the movie.
We had someone that looked like Jonah Hill, and then that would have been perfect.
Oh, yeah. If folks haven't seen the pictures yet of Marc-Andre Fleury as McLovin from the team Halloween party, you got to check him out.
He went and he actually went to a hairdresser and showed him a picture of McLovin. The guy cut his hair like McLovin.
You're effing kidding me.
That's incredible.
He's so committed.
And then I'm like, don't tell me he charged you. He's like, oh, yeah, $50. And I'm like, oh, my God.
He went to a hairdresser.
He had to go back the next day and get it cleaned up around the ears a little better, but it's so short still, and he's been rocking a hat most of the time on this trip in Florida.
The picture. Whoa, who did you go as, Marcus, at the Halloween party?
I went as Matilda. And my wife went as Miss Trunchbull.
Oh, wow.
Matilda, that's awesome.
I don't know if I know what that
kids
means.
movie?
Did you have a little red headband in and everything?
I had the red headband, the book in my hand,
Oh, you got to share a picture.
With the pullover, yeah. Yeah, my wife was like, I don't want to show this because I look terrible as Miss Trunchbull. I'm like, yeah, it's a tough look, but maybe we'll just get a picture of me. But it was good. She had the whole 1972 Olympic sweater on.
Awesome.
I don't.
Hair all done up. But,
Okay, it's a kids movie from years
a
best.
lot of good ones. I mean, who else was pretty good? I mean, Spurgeon went as Ali G.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
that was good too.
Howie G.
Ali G.
Ali G. Oh, I love Ali G. Oh, God, he was so funny, yeah.
Some other ones were, I'm trying to think now.
You guys got into the beer?
I don't know if you remember the famous the kid on YouTube that does he's at a park, he gets interviewed, and he's a zombie.
Yeah,
I like turtles.
You're kidding me.
Ryan Hartman went as him, and that was probably one of the funny ones.
Dude, he went as the I Like Turtles kid.
Yeah.
I remember Jonathan from the park, yeah.
And that's all he said the whole night for an hour. He just said, I like turtles. Do you want a beer? I like turtles.
Come on. We got to get an invite to one of some of these wild parties. Yeah, you guys got some great ideas.
Parties have been pretty good.
You guys got some great ideas. Yeah. Oh, my damn. We got to find... Are these pictures up on anyone's Instagram page or anything, Marcus? We got to see the pictures.
They should be on the Minnesota Wild page, and I think TSN or something like that.
Okay. That sounds like a friggin' riot.
But Marc-Andre Fleury usually kills it because last year him and his wife went as Edward Scissorhands, and he was the bush that was manicured.
I don't even
know. That's like one of the hedges.
Oh my God!
So how do you even come up with that?
That's
and how do you have the time to put it all together? That's great. All right, something else. We were talking about basketball a little bit too earlier before you came on, Marcus Foligno. A couple of our listeners recommend we ask you about this. So we were talking about Rudy Gobert of the Minnesota Wild recently. Pardon me, of the Minnesota Timberwolves recently signed an extension, $110 million over 3 years.
Oh my gosh!
What do you think about something like that? My God! And what were you saying, Brad Ryder? At one point, Karl Anthony Towns was making $46 million.
Yeah, he's supposed to make. Actually, I just looked it up. About $49 million this year.
I mean, I know it's rude to talk about money, but how do you think? How would your life change, Marcus Foligno, if suddenly you had $46 million a year coming your way?
It would change in a good way. It's just amazing that our league, we got guys, oh my God, he's signing for $12 million. That's crazy. And these guys are signing for 50, 60. But hey, it's the type of whatever the revenue they're making in that league might be different than ours. But it's, wow, man, good for them.
I bet you wouldn't be waking up every other Wednesday.
That way.
You probably wouldn't be doing Wednesday morning radio anymore if you're making $46 million a year.
We would never hear from you again, would we?
Somewhere in Italy.
I was going to say you might retire after this year if you made $46 million this year.
Right.
Jeez.
Isn't that something? Oh, my damn.
That's crazy. That's crazy, but good for those guys.
Yeah, good for them.
Actually, I've been watching that Starting Five on Netflix. Have you seen that yet?
I just started it, yeah.
It's pretty good. I'm in like episode 3, but it's pretty comical to see Anthony Edwards. That guy's a character.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, he is. I haven't seen it yet. A few of us have watched it. Edwards is his normal kind of loose, funny self.
Yeah, he's just him. You know, he's awesome.
Yeah.
There's a part in the show where he's got all his family over, and they're waiting on him because he's gaming in the other room, and they wait on him for like a couple hours just for dinner. They're like, "We're hungry." He's like, "Yeah, I'll be right out." And he just keeps gaming online with his buddies. I'm like, this is crazy. But he's still a young kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has to wait on him for dinner because he's playing video games?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's something else, these guys, and their lifestyle. It's pretty crazy. But freak athletes, man. Unreal watching those guys play.
Yeah, it is fun to watch. Oh, damn. You know, I was at your home rink last night, Marcus, while you're down there in Florida. A lot of shysters in Florida, aren't there, Marcus?
There's some interesting people down here.
Yeah. While you were down there in Florida, I was at your home rink last night watching the Iron Maiden concert. You ever dial into any Iron Maiden?
I believe I've listened to a couple, but I have never been to a concert. How's that?
Oh, God, it was outstanding. The show was just wonderful. So if you feel like cranking some of that in the locker room today at practice or tomorrow night or something, tell them it's courtesy of the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Play a little Maiden.
I love it. We had the rock going heavy yesterday morning. We're usually country in the morning, but yesterday morning before the game, I don't know, one of our trainers put it on.
What was it? Do you know?
It was loud. It was getting everyone going too excited for the morning, but it was good.
Do you remember what band it was?
Oh, it was just straight AC/DC.
Oh, nice. Nice.
You guys came into Thunderstruck, just heavy Thunderstruck at 9 in the morning.
I'll wake you up.
Well, that's a good
I'll
one.
get you going.
Was it you, Marcus, that told us you guys went on a Nickelback tear for a while there, or am I making that up?
No, I think I brought up Nickelback before. Yeah, we got some Nickelback lovers in our room.
Good deal.
All Canadians, so
yeah, Canadian rock.
It's always a good hit.
Canadian rock is a little more polite, and it smells a little bit like syrup. That's Canadian. Well, I mean, congratulations on the season so far, Marcus. You guys are off to a great start. You got a game tomorrow against the Lightning. We'll be watching, and, of course, wish you all the luck, by God.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Take it easy, Marcus.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Unless there's something else that we missed. It was kind of a hectic situation.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. You covered it.
All these wonderful, wonderful guests. I hope I didn't leave anything out. Tonight, nothing. But tomorrow night, Wolves and Wild.
Yep.
Next thing you know, it'll be Friday, and you'll be watching the World Series. Or we won't be.
Nah.
Might tune it in and see how it's going.
Maybe it'll be on in the background of the bar.
Yeah, you never know. Thanks, Randy and Brad.
All right.
We will talk to you soon, and we'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this winter. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst time.
Hey, Ashley here. Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Have a boiler? Save $40 on your boiler tune-up. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings. Stay cozy, stay ready.
Robinhood's Hood Week is here. 12 days, 3 legendary offers, and unlimited bonus amounts. Earn 3% on IRA transfers with Robinhood Gold, 2% on transfers with at least a $10,000 margin balance, and 1% on brokerage transfers until October 27th. Hood Week ends soon, so visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
You met Lala Kent on Vanderpump Rules. Now Lala and her friends share everything on Give Them Lala.
Baby S is giving me money-making moves in the room.
Yeah. So I'm going to have one kid who's like, I want to just live in a box and do like artistic dancing and paint. Ocean's going to be like, it doesn't matter if I'm broke, Mom. I'm passionate about it. And Baby S is going to be the one that says passion doesn't pay bills, Ocean.
Watch what Lala is talking about on YouTube or search for Give Them Lala wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
Due to some sexual content, parental discretion is advised.
On 93X.
Yes. Yes, my friends, we have returned over here on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Checking in at a smooth 8:30 a.m. Here's something or another we were jaw-jacking about earlier and had a hell of a lot of fun with it. And we needed to get some closure on this because we smooth ran out of time earlier. The subject, have you ever seen or been involved in a physical fight at work? Now, we've never seen that here. Cubby, lots of screaming and yelling back in the day, things thrown across the room.
Seen all that.
But we've
too much back in the day, for sure.
It was ridiculous. It was like a friggin' grade school scene. Temper tantrums and screaming and yelling. But we've never seen an actual fight.
No, I've never even seen the pre-pushing before a fight or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Or the fake hold me back. I've never seen it. In any job I've ever had, I've never seen that. Just the yelling, and then here's the only place I ever saw throwing stuff.
Never saw anyone go knucks up and cut loose with some bombs here at this particular workplace. I'm jealous because a lot of our listeners texted in to tell us, we're at 651-989-9393 if you've got some input here. I'm jealous because a lot of our listeners texted in earlier and said, hell yeah, there's fist fights at work. And we got text messages coming out our ass on this. And we also talked about things like, these folks that threw hands at work. Did they keep their job? We live in a time, in an era right now where you're gone. And second chances are kind of a thing of the past. If your company thinks you're creating some kind of a problem, bye. But at the same time, as we covered earlier, in some situations, no matter what odd behavior someone displays at work, they might keep their job because there's no one that can replace them. So that was another kind of a side story here. These folks who were throwing hands, did they keep their job? What did the text messages tell you over there, Josh?
Barron County Welder Jesus said that there was a father and son that duked it out at the parking lot of his old job. Neither one got fired.
I would love to see that.
I was surprised at how many people say, oh, yeah, it happens quite frequently at their particular job.
A father-son fight. Come on. Somebody bring their dad into work.
Yeah, I want something like that
Yeah.
so bad.
I would think that around here you'd be fired immediately. If someone punched someone else, I mean, back in the day, I don't think you would have. It would have been just, hey, we're not supposed to do that.
No hitting.
You
I
each could
agree
get
with you.
one more in, and then that's that. But I think nowadays it'd be a different story.
I agree with you. Man, I'd love to see that. Father and son. It's like dad's going to do some beating and the son's going to do some beating. It's a good old-fashioned father-son beat-off.
Hell yeah, it is.
That's what it is. A listener texted in who works construction. Was in a fistfight. He himself got in a fistfight on the roof of a building. Wow. Stakes are high.
Yeah, you don't want to mess up there.
The stakes are high. He said the fight happened right across the street from where his wife worked at the time, and she saw this happening. She looks across the street up on the roof of the building. Oh, God, it's a fist fight. Oh, my damn, I recognize one of those men.
Oh.
And he said he caught hell when he got home.
Demo Jesus said he saw a wife confront her husband about cheating with the secretary, and then the wife and the secretary threw hands.
That's hot stuff.
Ashley, have you ever fought a woman over a man?
No.
That'd be kind of cool to have that happen.
I yelled at a woman.
quite the honor.
I yelled at a woman, like, loudly, I guess, in public over a man, and that was pretty fun.
Did you say something like, "That's my man"? Bitch?
Along
Did you
those
call her a
lines.
name?
Yeah, there was some bad words that were thrown about.
How far did you go with the words?
I went pretty far with the words.
Really,
yeah.
like the one that men are never allowed to say?
No,
You
I
didn't say
didn't go
that
that
one?
far. Nope.
Let me tell you something, Cubby. Two gals knocking each other's chiclets loose over me? That's hot stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I wonder what that's like.
Yeah, me too. I do.
What do you got? What do you got that they're doing that? I mean, that's a level of
Size.
sex appeal. Is that what it is?
It's size.
All right, so that makes sense.
No Hawk Welder Jesus texted in on the topic of scraps at work. He said one day a couple of coworkers started play fighting, and it turned into haymakers. I love this. He got to watch it while seated and eating a bag of chips.
How many times did that happen growing up amongst your group of friends, right? You're wrestling around, everyone's just kind of joking around, somebody goes a little too hard, and then it's a full-on fight.
Yeah.
That used to happen. So I've had to stop my youngest and his buddies because I can tell, all right, if this thing goes on any further, they're going to go for real. 9
times out of 10, Cubby, you see the facial expression change.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know this is about to turn into something legitimate. So No Hawk Welder Jesus got to see these guys throw haymakers while eating a bag of chips. This answers the question I mentioned earlier about whether or not these guys kept their jobs. He said they still work here and next to each other every day, and they have for the last 8 years.
Hey, remember that time? Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Oh, I bet you they bring it up all the time.
They have to.
Retired Air Force Jesus said one of his coworkers got in a fist fight over a pizza a couple months ago, and he got fired.
Yeah.
Oh, don't want to ruin the pizza party.
It's not even a good story.
Now, throwing things, that is, like I mentioned, something that we've seen here. Little childlike temper tantrums where the boss, who's supposed to be some kind of a leader, an example in the building, is throwing things around like a little kid. Here is a listener who says, never been a fist fight at his occupation, but one dude did throw a wrench at another guy like he was, quote, Nolan Ryan, but he did not connect. Imagine if he had, somebody might have got killed dead.
Yeah, if you get hit by something like that, heck yeah. This person says, I'm a plumber. There's a 50% chance of a fight anytime an electrician walks on site. Here we go with the trade wars.
They hate each other.
The trade wars.
It goes back thousands of years. Electricians and plumbers being bitter rivals.
Everybody hates electricians.
Curb machine Jesus. Construction worker. Seen quite a few fights, he says. One guy pulled a gun. One guy bounced another off a driveway. I like the way he says that. Bounced another guy off a driveway. Says this stuff happens all the time. Only the guy who pulled the gun lost his job. The rest of them continued to work together and remained friends.
I bet in some construction sites, it's kind of, you get home, you're like, oh, wow, I don't think anybody fought today. What's going on? You know, that's how common it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been at a job where that happened.
Show up for your construction gig, you put in a mouth guard. And
tape in the hands.
Tape up your knuckles. What kind of gig you do? No, it's not for the job. You know, me and Tony over here, we might...
That's funny. I'm sure at first it was quite jarring to work in a situation like that. It reminds me of watching Dexter, the serial killer show, where at first you're like, oh my God, this is quite disturbing. And then after a while, if he didn't kill someone during an episode, you're just disappointed. Like, well, what the hell?
Oh, 45 minutes I just wasted?
Yeah, he could have plunged his knife into that guy right there, but he didn't do it.
I didn't know it was a drama.
Our topic is fights at work, where folks, really throw down. I love it. Used to work in an oil field, the listener says. Scraps were a weekly occurrence. I like this one. There was one fist fight in the back seat of a pickup on the way to the job site.
Couldn't even make it there.
That's one way to start your day. Back of the pickup, two guys throwing bombs. Used to work for an appliance company, a listener says. On a delivery, two coworkers. This is so well done and good for them that they had the presence of mind. Used to work for an appliance company is how you say it. On a delivery, two coworkers got in the back of the box truck, shut the door, and duked it out.
Oh, it's not a bad idea. Actually.
It's like their own style of octagon.
The Thunderdome.
Yes.
Could you imagine walking past that?
Boom, thump, boom, that kind of a thing.
In there?
Are they having sex? So I guess in the appliance delivery world, they have their own octagon, and that's in the back of the damn box truck. He said the two dudes fought, came out, finished the delivery.
That's how it goes. You just get it out of your system.
Get it over with.
HR Jesus, I bet he's seen some things. He said he had to deal with a fight at a small warehouse. Two older ladies came to blows over the thermostat in the women's bathroom. They were the only two women that worked at that location.
I love it.
I didn't know that girls fought over the thermostat like guys do. Or maybe I should say spouses do.
Yeah, like couples do. Is there any truth to that, Ashley? Have you ever had a thermostat war with another woman?
Not with another woman, no. Actually, me and my friends, we all like it to be colder. I got lucky that way.
Oh, you did.
You like it cold, you do, huh? All right, here's one for you, Josh, on the topic of scrapping at work. Does watching bouncers throw people out of the mermaid count?
Meet you at the bait.
Hubby,
I love
did you ever
bouncers do stuff?
Did you ever get thrown out of the mermaid, Josh?
No. Used to go there quite a bit. One of my cousins got married at the mermaid.
At the maid?
Wow. Yeah.
Is that the place where you committed your career worst public display of affection?
Yes.
That was the mermaid.
Yeah.
I knew there was something about the mermaid.
Yeah, that one was and unfortunately that was a repeat. It was 2 weeks in a row, and I decided, what am I doing?
You were just swallowing this girl's face.
Yep.
At the maid.
I was a young man. I'm embarrassed. It was stupid. It was a radio station event.
No.
Yeah.
How long did the two of you make out?
I don't know. I was
20
so
minutes?
drunk.
You were very drunk?
What did they have? Scooby snacks?
Oh, yes.
They used to make those.
You got drunk on Scooby snacks?
Dude. The Scooby snacks, it was like watching a marathon on television to Scooby-Doo. It was one after the other, after the other, after the other.
You drank all the Scooby snacks up.
Yeah.
Did you need the Scooby snacks in order to make out with this girl, if you know what I mean?
I don't like to kiss and tell.
Oh.
But just even to get that memory back, I'm going to need a few Scooby snacks.
Getting thrown out of the maid. Ashley, you enjoy watching bouncers remove patrons?
Yes. Oh, that is the best.
Uh-oh. I have a sneeze.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
I had one of those.
It's you!
Whoa.
God dang
Baby.
it. I also enjoy watching a fool get thrown out the beer hall. My brother was a bouncer for a while when we were young. He's got some stories. I think just a day or two ago we were talking about, I don't know, why did we talk about serums in Anoka? Why would we talk? I don't know. It doesn't matter. My brother bounced there for a while, and he got to chuck a few people down that big flight of stairs.
That would hurt.
Nice.
Back to the story of the guys fighting in the back of the box truck. This person says, I drive a box truck for a living, and we call it the Boxtagon. So that's a cool place to fight.
Does this happen often?
We should host, instead of a wrestling event, let's host a Boxtagon at some point.
I love it. I love the term. Okay, fighting at work. Here's some more highlights from what listeners texted in at 651-989-9393. One of them mentions a headbutt and a broken eye socket.
A good one. That's a good fight.
Cops were called.
I would think so. Oh, ouch.
And the dude who dumped the headbutt jumped out a second-story window to avoid the police.
Ooh. What else does he have? What else is he running from?
Crazy fish guy Jesus had a temp that pulled a gun on the manager because the temp was convinced that he was going there to replace the manager. Guess he wanted to make it permanent.
Holy smokes.
Oh, man. That's terrifying.
60-year-old lady gets canned from her desk job. And on her way out the door, she was whacking people on the top of their head with her desk phone.
My goodness.
See it like kind of ringing everybody up?
Yeah.
Boom. Ding, 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 ding.
Big bearded Jared, who was at the Iron Maiden show last night, said it's the best show he's ever seen.
Yes.
Said in 1998 he punched a guy in the middle of a supper rush at a pizza kitchen, hardly even got talked to by the owner. Yeah, it was different. 98.
Mm-hmm.
It was different. That's about the time frame we're talking about, where around here it just didn't matter.
Here's a lady listener who says she sees fights at work all the time, but it isn't shocking because she works at rehab.
Oh, I bet there's a lot of fights there.
Yeah.
Rehab.
Nobody's happy.
There were some teachers that texted in and said, yeah, well, they see it quite a bit, with students there.
Another listener says, I've been part of a physical encounter at work. I bent a female coworker over in a supply closet and I blew her back out.
Oh.
No, you did not.
That didn't
Seriously?
happen.
Her back came loose?
HVAC delivery Jesus worked at a golf course. Two 80-year-old seniors fought each other because one lied about what he got on a hole. Both got arrested.
Oh, that's awesome. Still competitive at 80.
And then there's a couple of, we've received a text from a couple of, how does a grown person say this, elementary school teachers talking about the kid fights. Kids still fighting at school? And I know that.
So? Yeah, I think like a lot more than
you have to understand what I mean by that question. I know that they sure as hell like to bring guns into school, but are they still fighting at school?
I see a lot of videos, yeah.
My fiance teaches second grade, and she says she's got to remind kids hands to themselves. She's also had incidents where a kid will throw a chair or a book at somebody.
Throw a chair?
Did you say, Ashley, you see videos? What are you talking about? What website are you on that shows little kids fighting at elementary school?
Every once in a while on Twitter, like a fight video will pop up, and then I'll continue to watch them, and it's just like a rabbit hole. I
didn't know you could watch children fight on the internet.
School fights, yeah.
I remember my first schoolyard fight. I do. Maybe second grade or something like that. I don't remember why I had a problem or this other kid had a problem with me, but suddenly we were squared up, and a crowd gathered, of course. All the classmates gather around. And I didn't really, this is what I remember. It was a long time ago. I didn't really want to punch this kid. I remember that there was some static between us, but it kind of surprised me that suddenly we were going to fight. But with the crowd around me, I felt I had to do something. So I popped the kid in the yap. And next thing you know, the two of us were being taken to the principal's office. Okay, fine. My mom will be mad. My dad will be mad. I'll get over it. I wasn't really bothered. And plus, with my twin brother, we fought all the time. So this didn't really occur to me as a big deal. We're sitting in the principal's office, and the principal's talking to both of us about you can't do this and what happened. And I don't remember the details. But the principal says, well, I'm going to have to call your parents. And I remember saying, okay. Again, because I just didn't think it was that big of a deal. I fought all the time at home, so okay, so what? You're going to call my parents. The other kid, when he heard that his parents were going to be notified, he absolutely broke down. He was devastated, bawling, begging the principal not to call his parents about this, and I just ended up feeling terrible for this other kid. And I think I was too young to say, after we got out of the office, I was too young to say, hey, man, is everything okay? Because I was a second grader. But I just felt so bad about the whole thing because this kid was he was inconsolable about it.
Yeah, I guess I've had that happen where the principal or vice principal at our school, that was who the disciplinarian was, where they threatened to call your parents over something. mean, I was terrified of my dad, but I figured, Mom will answer the phone and she won't rat me out.
You could count on her.
Yeah,
she could be your wing mom.
Because she knew if Dad found out, she didn't even want to deal with that.
That's how my parents were too, Josh.
Same
Good
type
times.
of thing?
Yep.
Good times.
But I do remember, that's all my mom had to say. Do you want me to tell your father?
Oh.
And then we would change our behavior immediately.
You'd straighten right up.
Oh, man, that worked.
Half-assed morning show.
Come out to play on 93X.
By the way, before we go, we got a few minutes left here on the Half-Assed Morning Show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow at 5:40. That audio there from not the Outsiders. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'm telling you. If you tell me, I'll be pissed. The Warriors. That audio there from the old 1979 wacky-ass movie, The Warriors. I heard this morning that they're going to turn that movie into a musical.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Oh, yeah? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I won't see it, so go ahead. You know, it's just interesting that this, what do they call it, cult classic, has hung around for so long, and now they're going to turn it into...
They're kind of doing that, with certain movies.
Is that right?
Yeah, where it comes back as... I remember, and I brought this up before, and Dana, you laughed at me because I was totally clueless on the Demon Barber of, what's it called?
Sweeney Todd?
Yeah, Sweeney Todd. I went to it, I'm like, what the hell, this is a musical? And apparently it was an incredibly famous musical, and all they did was put it on film. I didn't realize it was a thing beforehand. But was it Mean Girls they made a musical?
Mean Girls had a musical recently.
It's just easy money, isn't it? You take
It's
a popular
gotta be, yeah.
something or another, you sing some songs in it, easy money.
Back to the Future has a musical that's a traveling play right now that started on Broadway. It was here not too long ago.
Oh, that was a musical?
Yeah.
I saw it was here. I'm glad I didn't go.
I mean, I love the Warriors ever since I was a kid. As soon as I saw it, I wanted to move to New York City and join a roller skating gang. That's what I wanted to do. So that's great. It doesn't bother me one way or the other because I'm not going to go see the musical, but it's an interesting kind of a deal.
They had a great video game for PlayStation 2. It was so much fun.
The Warriors did?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you could start as one of the characters, and then you kind of build up. But then they had this skirmish mode where you could play King of the Hill against a bunch of different gangs. It was a blast.
Sweet.
All right, before we get out of here, we had a fun conversation about scraps at work. Oh man, some people get spirited at work, don't they? And you scream, you yell, you throw things. But has it ever come down to a full-on scrap? A lot of you texted in. We appreciate it. Many of you have played a role or witnessed an at-work fight. Now, Ashley over there, I'm going to put it on her. I got something here to close out the show that might start some workplace fights this morning. So blame Ashley. She's the one who turned this information in. Fellas, use this today at work and see how far it goes. According to some research by Ashley, if your name is Chad, Frank, Brad, Chase, Hunter, Dale, Tanner, Nick, spelled N-I-C, Brock, Dave, or Tyler, according to Ashley's research, if you have any of those names, you're a douchebag.
Yep.
I do think NIC to spell Nick is kind of douchey.
So douchey.
I don't know an NIC, other than, isn't there like an LA Nick that spells it that way? Or I thought there's like a famous person that spells it with, Nicolas Cage?
Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Does that count?
No, he's cool.
I guess it depends who you ask, Dana, but I knew a Nick spelled N-I-C, and he broke up with me over voicemail.
Oh, wow.
Trash.
All right, I'll let you off the hook, Ashley. This is something that you found on that godless, soulless, evil Twitter.
Yep.
That people got together, however you do that on Twitter. What, do you all get in the same room? I don't know how it works, but
Yes.
people got together.
Take your pants off.
And settled on this list. Names that scream douchebag. And if you want that list again, so you can use it at work today or maybe with some free time, maybe you're going out for a bite to eat with some pals. It's Chad. How can Frank be douchey? Frank's just a good old, regular, old school name. Frank?
People were going that route because Frank is usually like the name of your foreman at your boss or something. Like usually the head guy that's kind of douchey.
Most of the Franks I've known, I wouldn't mess with them. So Chad, Frank, Brad, Chase, Hunter. Dale is another name that it seems so blue collar to me, so regular guy to me. I don't think Dale deserves to be in here, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's my dad's name. That's a good name.
Tanner, Nick with a C.
Tanners are douches.
And only a C. Why are you going after Tanners?
They are, dude.
I've never met a good Tanner.
I never met a Tanner.
I don't think I know a Tanner.
I know a couple Tanners.
Do you?
Yep.
Brock, Dave, also great name, and Tyler.
I grew up with a Brock.
I was just going to ask if you guys ever knew a Brock in real life.
Yep.
Okay.
My college freshman roommate, you get the roommate assignment. This was kind of before social media had really blown up, so you couldn't really look anybody up all that much. And his name was Brock, and I was picturing like a Brock Lesnar type. Like, this guy's going to be cool. We're going to be bros. We're going to drink beer. That kid was the exact opposite. I mean, nice guy, but never wanted to leave the room, was always playing computer games, was not the Brock I was expecting.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that either. That name does not fit that kind of vibe.
Blame Ashley and social media for workplace violence today.
But mostly Ashley.
I'll take all the blame.
One of my buddies growing up, he had a name. He did, like most of us. And it's a name that you just don't hear anymore. And I think he's the last guy I ever met with this name. And it brings back wonderful memories. His name was Perry.
Perry, I know a Perry.
Perry the platypus.
You don't know, you just don't
I know
meet
two Perrys, actually.
You know two Perrys?
Well, one's a guy, one's a girl. Yeah. Well, the Perry, the guy is, I'd say he's 65. And then the Perry, my son's friend, she's 12.
Some of those great names have come and gone. Yeah. Oh, we had fun with Perry, and I haven't met one since.
All right, people are saying that they know some Dales and they're douches.
Oh.
Somebody else is saying they know a Tanner, and he's not a douche.
We'll see about that. Okay, Tanner.
Yeah, prove it.
We know it's you.
Box truck rapper Jesus. He's been working in New Jersey and wants his kids to know he misses them. He's going to be back Saturday, and he's excited about that trip home.
Well, that's adorable.
Yeah, so clean up. If you've had a party, clean up. Dad's on his way.
Jesus.
Shout out to Covered in Metal, Jesus and the wife flying to L.A. to cheer on the Vikes at SoFi, and then they're going to San Diego for a few days. Ooh, visit the little Navy area. That's awesome. Happy birthday to Dump Master Flex.
I'll show you my little Navy area. I will.
From Wild Fan 88. Any semen? Can we expect it?
What?
Happy 60th to Wisconsin AC/DC loving Jesus.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Ashley here. Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Have a boiler? Save $40 on your boiler tune-up. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings. Stay cozy, stay ready.